So a máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ ètò náà ní ráńpẹ́. Àkọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú national anthem. Ẹ fún wa ní national anthem, Barrister.
Congrats.
Ẹ ṣeun, Barrister. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo sọ, mo kí wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí kó wá bọ̀ sí orí ètò ní ọjọ́ Sátidé tèmi. Mo kí gbogbo àwọn àlejò wa tí wọ́n wà nínú ilé. Ẹ ṣé gan, a dúpẹ́. Gẹ́gẹ́ bẹ́ ṣe mọ̀, ìsọ̀rí títò ní ni wípé a sọ wípé making sense of regionalism and other concepts. Kí ni ìtumọ̀ regionalism? Ọ̀nà wo ló lè gbà ran ilẹ̀ Yorùbá lọ́wọ́ àbí ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà? Gbogbo àwọn nǹkan wọ̀nyí ni a máa gbé ṣe, ṣùgbọ́n kó tó di pé a máa bọ́ sínú ètò náà lọ, mo máa fẹ́ kí n pe directorate director àwọn Princess Adéọlá Atayo kí wọ́n fi ọ̀rọ̀ jomitoro pẹ̀lú wa díẹ̀, kí wọ́n kí wa kó àbọ̀ sí orí ètò náà kó tó di wípé a máa sún síwájú. Princess, please.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni, ẹ káàárọ̀, ẹ káàsán, kálẹ́. Our royal fathers, your excellencies, Yoruba leaders, elders, ladies and gentlemen, I greet you all. I welcome you to our 172 Zoom Town Hall meeting. Considering the dynamic of change, we thought it would be in order for us to enlighten and trigger a national discourse on issues which has been the bottlenecks to progress in the entity known as Nigeria. A is what Yoruba refer to bí iwájú ò ṣe lọ, ẹ̀yìn á ṣe padà sí. Our topic to seek to address the options before us, and we hope our people henceforth will have great understanding of issue which will enable them to make informed decisions when eventually called upon to exercise the right to express their opinion and choice through the ballot. To this extent, I have the pleasure of welcoming the proponent of the Bill for Acts to substitute the annexure to Decree 24 of 1999 with a new governance model for the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Although Odu ni wọ́n kì í ṣe àìmọ̀ fún olóko. Please sit back and enjoy the meeting, and while other items on our itinerary is being dealt with, I kindly ask that you share our meeting invite with your contact. Odùduwà á gbè wá o, kò ní gbé àwọn ọ̀dàlẹ̀. Èmi Adéọlá Táyérọlá mi jùlọ, kò ní dalẹ̀ Yorùbá ìwọ ńkọ́. Ẹ ṣé gan ni, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Princess. Èmi náà ní dalẹ̀ Yorùbá o. Ẹ ṣé. Nǹkan tó kàn sí ni directorate montage.
bá a bímọ nílé olówó oyè ó lè ṣèṣe olówó bá a bímọ nílé ọlọ́rọ̀ oyè ó lè rìnrìn ọlọ́lá kó rìnyàn fanda rìnrìn ọlọ́rọ̀ ọmọ tá a bá bí ńlẹ̀ yorùbá yẹ kó mọ tì fún tẹ̀dọ̀ ohun àṣà àtìṣe ilẹ̀ yorùbá dẹ́kùndélẹ̀ tó fi mọ́ ìtàn ohun orísun ilẹ̀ yorùbá àtàwọn bíi tó ṣe é mú yẹn gan tó dùn ún wò nílẹ̀ yorùbá ẹ wo ẹ̀rìn ìjẹ̀ṣà waterfall kẹ́ẹ̀tún wò kọ́gùsì níbi tómi gbóná àti tútù ti pàdé ìdẹ̀rẹ̀ hìlì nínú odò ńkọ́ àtòkè olúmọ lẹ́gbàá lákè nání ohun ànílà nání ìdí ẹ̀ gan nìyí tí yorùbá nation global directorate fi gbé ètò kan ràbàǹdẹ̀ kalẹ̀ ní gbogbo ọjọ́ àbámẹ́ta ọjọ́ sátidé fún gbogbo ọmọ yorùbá láti kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ mẹ́kọ̀ọ́ kọ́gbọ́n mọ́gbọ́n nípa àṣà ìṣe ìtàn ìṣẹ̀dálẹ̀ àti òkodoro ọ̀rọ̀ nípa yorùbá tó fi mọ́ ohun tó rọ̀ mọ́ ìjàngbara fún orílẹ̀-èdè yorùbá ẹ ṣáà mọ̀ pé bí olóde ò bá kú ojúdere ò ní wú koríko àìsí níbẹ̀ sì láì bá wọn dá sí wọ́n pín kò kàn mí onítọ̀hún ò yọjú síbẹ̀ ní. darapọ̀ lórí ìkànnì YouTube ní gbogbo ọjọ́ sátidé ní dédé aago 3 ọ̀sán nàìjíríà tàbí kó o darapọ̀ lórí Zoom fi àtẹ̀jíṣẹ́ mo fẹ́ darapọ̀ ránṣẹ́ sórí ìkànnì ímeèlì yìí yorùbánationglobal.d@gmail.com ìkànnì yorùbá nation global directorate lẹ́yìn tí rí wò lórí YouTube oríṣiríṣi àlejò tó jẹ́ ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n tó nímọ̀ tó tó gbangba sùn lọ́yẹ́ ńlẹ́ ọmọ bá pàdé lọ́sọ̀ọ̀sẹ̀ fún ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ohun ọ̀rọ̀ ìyànjú àti ọ̀rọ̀ nípa ìlọsíwájú àti akitiyan gbígba òmìnira ilẹ̀ yorùbá jẹ́ ká jọ pàdé níbi ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tọjọ́ àbámẹ́ta tọ̀sẹ̀ yìí kẹ́kù lẹ́gbọ́ kó sọ fún toko pé a kì í fárílẹ́yìn olórí ẹni tó ní nǹkan ó da òní ò ṣe ń bẹ̀ yorùbá ò ní parun yorùbá ò ní rẹ̀yìn láíláí yorùbá nation global directorate lolùkéde. ẹ darapọ̀ ránṣẹ́ sórí ìkànnì ímeèlì yìí.
Ẹ ṣeun. Lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ẹ jẹ́ kí n rọ àwọn èèyàn wa ẹ bá wa pe àwọn èèyàn wọlé torí pé nǹkan tí a máa gbọ́ lénìí ó yàtọ̀ pátápátá sí nǹkan tí a ti ń gbọ́ tẹ́lẹ̀. Wọ́n ní ọ̀tún wẹ òsì òsì wẹ ọ̀tún òun ni ọwọ́ fi ń mọ́ so ẹ jẹ́ ká pe àwọn èèyàn wa wọlé. Èyí tó pọ́n kàn sí ni pé mo máa pe ọ̀gbẹ́ni wa Kọ́ládé Thomas kí wọ́n fún wa ní ìròyìn lérèfé láti lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ìlú wa. Ẹ ṣé. Mr. Kọ́ládé Thomas.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni ọ̀gbẹ́ni Odumosu. Thank you very much. My name is Kọ́ládé Thomas on behalf of the directorate. Mo fẹ́ mú ìròyìn lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ wá fún yín ní àsìkò yìí. You are all welcome to our news update. The speed at which extrajudicial killings by the police and ritualists goes on in Nigeria today is troubling. Innocent girls and men are being killed, and some of their solid organs are being taken for the purpose of transplantation into other persons. These organs are taken without the consent of the victim, while others are killed for money rituals. Worse still, when these issues are reported to the police, they are reluctant to take action. Sometimes they request for money before they can take a report from these victims. This is not the type of policing expected in a democracy Nigerian voted for. Yoruba Nation Global Directorate calls the federal government of Nigeria to ensure that the police commission is reorganized and necessary training are given to the police to reorientate them for the new policing. The call for regionalization becomes more strident in recent weeks, with the proposal sent to the National Assembly and the presidency by Dr. Akin Fakunda. The proposal is on the need to revert to regionalism or statism to enhance government and political administration of the regions. It will be recalled that in one of the bulletins, we inform you of the proposal to include referendum in the proposed amendment to the Constitution of Nigeria of 1999. Referendum will give the people the right to contribute and be part to approve law being made for them. Whilst Yoruba Nation Global Director does not believe in piecemeal amendment to the Constitution, but seek for a constitution that is rooted in public participation, regionalism or statism will bring all the ethnic nationalities closer to their ethnic sovereignty than war. The core Hausa ethnic nationality seems to buy into the proposal, giving their views on it. However, those who may not agree are the Fulanis who have been milking Nigerian dry. Participation politics in this sense will give everyone their required piecemeal. Kindly sit well and enjoy proceedings of the day's discussion. The news got to us of the adoption of the Yoruba national anthem by 6 Yoruba states. We welcome the move, but kindly that Kogi and Kwara should be carried along in the future. The continuous exclusion of the states suggests that they have been ceded to the north. I am Kolade Thomas. Odua Ogbewa kò ní gbé ọ̀dàlẹ̀. Ìwọ ńkọ́? Èmi ò ní dálẹ̀ Yorùbá o.
Èmi náà ní dálẹ̀ Yorùbá o.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni. Yorùbá o.
A dúpẹ́. Ẹ jẹ́ ká bá wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí, ẹ jẹ́ ká pa àwọn èèyàn wọlé. Èyí tó kàn sí ni mo fẹ́ pe a máa ṣe appeal for funds. Mr. Kolade, ẹ̀yin náà lè ṣe máa ràn wá lọ́wọ́.
Thanks for the privilege.
Sorry, ó dàgbà àti ìdíbẹ̀ ẹ̀jẹ̀ má bínú.
Oh, okay.
Ìfà Ògèdèngbé, àwa la gba fídíò.
Àwa la gbà, adìyẹ funfun la gbà, adìyẹ, àwa la gbà. Ọmọ Yorùbá, ọmọ Oòduà, ọmọ odù tó dá ìwà, ẹ fura o, ìfura lóògùn àgbà, kánsá òfura kánsá já, àjà òfura àjà jìn, bónílé ò bá fura olè ó kó, ogun àwítẹ́lẹ̀ kí parọ́ tó bá gbọ́ ọmọ Yorùbá, ikú tó mọ̀ ń pọ́jú gbà ẹni, òwe ló ń pa fún ni, ẹ dìde tẹ̀sán, ẹ dìde tọlọ́gun, ẹ jígìrì, ìgbàgbọ́ ògbámọ́ sọ̀rọ̀ ilé bàbá wa ọmọ Oòduà, ẹ dìde bí alágbára, ìdágìrì kì í jámọ́ lẹ́yìn ẹkùn, àsìkò tó ká sọ̀rọ̀ bí àwọn ará àtijọ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká wá ohun agbára àwọn bàbá ńlá wa, ká dira wa lámùrè, ṣé àìrìnjìnà lára búkí ọ̀kẹ́rẹ́, bàbá rìn jìnnà dáadáa, àkànbí tí wọ́n gbé fọdọ̀ òbúlẹ̀ gúnyé jẹun, bẹ́ẹ̀ ìwákùwà là wá ń tó bá sọnù, ọ̀rọ̀ ti dójú ọ̀gbagadè, kí kálukú yà tètè mọ̀ báyìí pé ọmọ Yorùbá gbọ́dọ̀ fìgbàdí kan ṣoṣo ṣègbànú, ká pawọ́pọ̀ láti dáàbò bo àdúgbò, abúlé àti olúùlú wa, gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ló gbọ́dọ̀ mọ̀ báyìí pé gbogbo wa ti di ológun lọ́wọ́ tí ìlú wà báyìí o, nítorí àtòkèrè lolójú títí tí mẹ́kún sùn, igi gogoro má sì gómi lójú àtòkèrè láti wò ó, ọmọ Oòduà ó lè òní jà wá bẹ́ẹ̀ lógun òní kọ́ wa lẹ́rù lọ́wọ́, kẹkùlé ó gbọ́ kó sọ fún toko kádò ó gbọ́ kó lọ rò fún ọbẹ̀ pé lọ́wọ́ tí ìlú wà báyìí nínú ewu nílùú wà o, gbogbo wa pátá la gbọ́dọ̀ mọ̀ pé a ti dológun láti lè dáàbò bo dúkìá àti ẹ̀mí àwọn èèyàn wa, ó ti yá o ọmọ Yorùbá, omi gbọ́dọ̀ ìpẹ́lẹ́nu bẹ́ẹ̀ ọwọ́ ìpẹ́nsà kéèké ẹjẹ́ jígìrì ká wá wọ̀rọ̀ kọ̀ fi ṣàdá kó tó pẹ́ o, àbọ̀rọ̀ lásán fọmọlúàbí tó bá dénú rẹ̀ yóò dodidi. Yorùbá Nation Global Directorate ló ń kéde fún gbogbo ọmọ odù tó dá ìwà.
Ẹ ṣé Mr. Kolade, appeal for funds.
Thank you for the privilege to be doing this all the time. And most of the time, see Baba Adebayo Bawa and no, I will not mention. Ẹjọ́ má bínú pé mo ń yọ yín lẹ́nu lójoojúmọ́. Mo mọ̀ pé mo ní kí wá ṣe alágbe again lénìí ni pé kẹjọ nítorí Ọlọ́run kẹ́ ràn wá lọ́wọ́ bí nǹkan ṣe ń lọ ní ilẹ̀ wa. I need láti máa ṣe àwọn nǹkan kan, àwọn nǹkan míì, àwọn bíi lẹ́tà tá máa kọ nǹkan kan, gbogbo nǹkan tá à ń ṣe. Tí ẹ pé owó la fi ń ṣe, tí ò bá sí ẹ̀yin bí ṣe máa ń sọ, tí ò bá sí ẹ̀yin members tẹ wá ń ràn wá lọ́wọ́, a lè rí nǹkan kan ṣe. So mo ní pé kí n tún wá bá yín lénìí kẹjọ nítorí Ọlọ́run kẹ́ ràn wá lọ́wọ́ kẹ́ máa fún wa lówó bí ẹ pé $10 lẹ́fẹ́ náà lẹ́fẹ́ fi jẹ McDonald's or lẹ́fẹ́ fi jẹ kínní or tẹ́fẹ́ fi jẹ oúnjẹ Yorùbá ilẹ̀ Yorùbá wọn bíi tasty kankan ẹ máa mú bíi pọ́n méjì inú ẹ jọ̀ọ́ kẹ́ máa fi rántí wa mi ò sọ pé bóyá pọ́n méjì yẹn ni pé kẹ́ máa san bó jẹ́ pọ́n 5 bó jẹ́ pọ́n 10 lẹ́ní lọ́sẹ̀ẹ̀sẹ̀ ìyẹn náà á débì kan á dẹ̀ ràn wá lọ́wọ́ láti ṣe gbogbo nǹkan tá a fẹ́ ṣe gbogbo àwọn ètò tá a ní láti ṣe láti fi ran ilẹ̀ Yorùbá lọ́wọ́ àwa ò kówó jẹ bí o àdẹ̀ kí owó tí a bá ná tá a bá gbé jáde kò ń ṣe bóyá èmi nìkan or Barrister Odumosu or Barrister Ogidengbe or Prince Olamijulo our director of the directorate náà máa sọ pé okay káwọn náwó kò sí èèyàn kankan gbogbo wa a máa jókòó a máa sọ pé owó yìí ṣó wọ́ọ̀t pé bóyá ká ná àbí ká má ná a ní everything in place tí yẹ pé torí a fẹ́ kójú ti ẹnì kankan nú wa a fẹ́ make sure pé a wà accountable fún gbogbo nǹkan tá à ń ṣe mi ò mọ bí ìbá ṣe sọ ní èdè Yorùbá pé bóyá gbogbo nǹkan owó tá à ń ná gbogbo nǹkan tá à ń ṣe a wà accountable fún so ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ má bínú ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ ràn wá lọ́wọ́ wọ́n máa gbé account wa sórí òpó ẹ dẹ̀ máa rí ibi tí ó yẹ kẹ́ fowó sí so gbé fún Barrister Odumosu a ṣe gbogbo àwọn Barrister Ogidengbe tó wà ní secretariat àwọn àfihàn yìí ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ má gbàgbé wa tẹ́ bá ti ń ná kọ́bọ̀ tẹ́ ń ná tọ́rọ́ ẹ má gbàgbé wa a mọ̀ pé nǹkan le nílùú gan nísìnyí bọ̀ Ọlọ́run á máa ràn yín lọ́wọ́ ibi dẹ̀dẹ̀ tí mú owó yẹn Ọlọ́run á máa pèsè fún yín o àpò yín ò ní gbẹ o ẹ ṣé gan ni thank you very much on behalf of the Yoruba Nation Global Directorate thank you.
Ẹ ṣeun Mr. Kolade thank you so much. Bí ètò náà ṣe ń lọ mo máa pe kó tó di pé mo máa pe barrister láti fi àwọn tí wọ́n bá wa ṣe panel lénìí hàn ẹ jẹ́ kí n fi yé wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí wípé a ní ìdá ti pé àwọn èèyàn wọlé ẹ jẹ́ ká pọ̀ jù báyìí lọ torí wípé ọ̀rọ̀ tá a máa gbọ́ lénìí ọ̀rọ̀ tó jẹ́ pé ó máa jẹ́ ká ní ìlọsíwájú ní orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá pàápàá jùlọ àwọn ìgbésẹ̀ tí a ti gbé sẹ́yìn láti rí wípé gbogbo nǹkan ó ń lọ létò láì dẹ̀ fi ìjọ̀gbọ̀n ṣe é torí ẹ̀ máa ń pè Barrister Ogidengbe kí wọ́n fi àwọn panelist wa kí wọ́n bá wa fi wọ́n hàn sí i. ẹ ò mú tara yín Barrister.
mo ní ẹ má bínú ẹ kú ìjókòó gbogbo ilé o mo kí yín o mo kí yín ẹ kú sùúrù ẹ kú fẹ́ẹ̀lú Ọlọ́run á fi oore tá à ń ṣe fún àwọn tó wà nílé àti fún ara wa Ọlọ́run wọ ọlẹ á jẹ́ kí gbogbo nǹkan tá a dáwọ́lé ó ní ìtumọ̀ ẹ má bínú pé lọ́dọ̀ wa níbí ní United Kingdom oòrùn ràn somewhere tó yẹ pé mi ò lè sá fún oòrùn náà but to the best of my ability I will make sure that at least you see my face ẹ ṣé gan lénìí gẹ́gẹ́ bí àṣà wa àpérò la máa ń ṣe níbí yìí wọ́n ní a tree doesn't make a forest Yorùbá ní igi kan kì í dá igbó ṣe wọ́n dẹ̀ ní ọgbọ́n ọlọ́gbọ́n kì í jẹ́ ká pé àgbàlagbà ní wèrè a ní oore ọ̀fẹ́ wípé oríṣiríṣi àwọn àgbàlagbà ní Ọlọ́run fi jíǹkí wa nílẹ̀ Yorùbá a sọ̀rọ̀ àgbà nípa ti ọjọ́ orí nìkan àgbà nípa ìmọ̀ òye tó jẹ́ pé òye yẹn dẹ̀ ni wọ́n tún fi ń bọ́ àwọn yòókù torí Yorùbá ní kárúṣọ mọ́dì káròdì máṣọ kídì má ti gbófo wọ́n dẹ̀ ní ọwọ́ ọmọdé kó tó pẹpẹ tí àgbàlagbà kò wọ́ kèrègbè ọmọdé gbọ́n àgbà gbọ́n fìdá Ilẹ̀ Ifẹ̀. So Ilẹ̀ Ifẹ̀ náà la wà yìí o. So ní gẹ́gẹ́ bí barrister ti sọ, barrister Dowusu ṣe sọ, a ní oore ọ̀fẹ́ lẹ́yìn wípé àwọn màmá wa tó jẹ́ pé kò kí ń rẹ̀ wọ́n, kò kí ń sùn wọn, àwọn bàbá wa tí ò kí ń rẹ̀ tí ò kí ń sùn wọn, a lóore ọ̀fẹ́ pé wọ́n wà pẹ̀lú wọn lẹ́yìn. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n fi ọ̀wọ̀, kí n kọ́kọ́ fi tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ pé bàbá wa dókítà ọlọ́pọlọ tó lọ́pọlọ kí wọ́n ṣíwájú tàkọ́kọ́ sórí ìkan yìí. Dr. B. Oyefule tí mo fi tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ dárúkọ yín, ẹ jẹ́ bá wa tán móhùnmáwòrán yín, your camera, please, so that we can spotlight you for the audience to know. Dr. Oyefule, ẹ jẹ́ bá wa tán camera yín. Yes, ẹ ṣé gan sir, thank you. Àwọn bàbá wa rèé o. Thank you, barrister. And mi ò mọ̀ bóyá bàbá ní ṣókí ọ̀rọ̀ tán fẹ́ sọ kí n tó tún pé àwọn ọ̀dọ́gbọ́n mi.
Yeah, thank you very much, barrister. I wasn't sure whether I was showing or not. More discussion today would be a very, very interesting one. We've been thinking and talking and praying and doing things along this way for a very long time. You know, how to improve our Yoruba land, and we'll be very interested, and we are all going to find it very interesting that listen to Dr. Fakunda at all the wise counsel he is going to be giving us today. Barrister.
Thank you very much. Ẹ ṣé gan sir. Thank you. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n wá pe ìyáàfin màmá wa, màmá fáwọn kan, ẹ̀gbọ́n fáwọn kan, ẹgbẹ́ fáwọn kan, ìyàwó fáwọn kan, màmá wa olóyè mẹ́ta. I speak of no other person than Sister Yemisi Fadahunsi Ogunlana Mẹ́talọ. Welcome, sister.
Ẹ kúlé o, ẹ̀yin ìyá mi, ẹ̀yin bàbá mi, ẹ̀yin
Camera yín bí
ẹ̀gbọ́n.
orí yan. Where are you, sister?
I'm there already.
Okay. Barrister tẹ́ bá rí wọn. Okay, mo ti ẹ ṣé. Thank you. Over to you, sister. Yeah.
Ẹ kúlé o, ẹ̀yin ẹbí wa tí ó wà lórí ìkànnì o. Ọ̀rọ̀ yín ò ní sún Ọlọ́run o. Gbogbo wa la máa jèrè Yorùbá land láìpẹ́ láì jìnnà. Àdúpẹ́ tá àdúró ìṣẹ́jú kan fún yàn kankan nù wá lénìí o. Ẹ ṣeun.
Thank you very much. Mo fẹ́ pe brother mi náà. Olólùfẹ́ Yorùbá ni wọ́n. Ẹni tó jẹ́ wípé Ọlọ́run fún ní làákàyè. Bọ́n ṣe ń bá ọmọdé ṣe, wọ́n ń bá àgbàlagbà ṣe. Ẹni tó jẹ́ pé bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ṣe fẹ́ lọ ṣe máa bá. Wọn ò ní fi òlòlò fọ́hùn. Pé ká sọ̀rọ̀ ìlú ká nífẹ̀ẹ́ ìlú. Ẹ máa ṣàwọn ọmọ ṣáà ni, ẹ máa kà wọ́n mọ́ ẹni náà. Bó tilẹ̀ jẹ́ pé wọn ò bá ẹgbẹ́ kankan pé ibi báyìí ni ẹgbẹ́ tàwọn àbí pé kíní kan, ìlú ṣe pàtàkì jù wọ́n lọ gẹ́gẹ́ bí gbogbo àná tàwa gbé ju ẹgbẹ́ lọ. A dúpẹ́ pé gbogbo wa tá a bá pè wọ́n, wọ́n ń jẹ́ wa, wọ́n ń bá wa dá sí ní kọ̀rọ̀ àti ní gbangba. Ẹni tẹ́ ẹ mọ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹranko abìjàwàrà. Gẹ́gẹ́ pé wọ́n bá dárúkọ kìnìún olólàyè jù. Wọ́n á dẹ orúkọ tí many people ń gbọ́ ní kọ́tà kan tí àyà wọn máa sọ kìkìkì. So let me call upon my brother to join the panelist. His name is Samson Olaoluwa Ademoye. So let's welcome him. Brother. You're muted.
Welcome to the next meeting. Ọlọ́run á fún wa ṣe, Ọlọ́run á fún wa sọ. Àpérò wa kò ní já sí asán. Ẹ ṣé gan.
Ẹ ṣé. Thank you very much.
Brother wa kà kó oníkùmọ̀ ẹkùn.
Yes, ẹ ṣé gan. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n pe màmá wa. Mo fi tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ pè wọ́n lórúkọ. Màmá wa Sandra Popoola OBE. OBE yẹn. Anybody tí ò bá mọ̀ nípa British tradition kan try láti study. The first person to be decorated with the title, the first musician I must say is Isaiah Kehinde Dairo, after which the Beatles were also privileged to be knighted. So kò ń ṣe oyè yẹpẹrẹ. Bàbá wa kan náà sọ ní ká tó fèèyàn joyè láàrin ìlú ó láti jẹ́ ní rere. So we have a great privilege to have her amongst us today. Ẹni rere olùfẹ́ Yorùbá nation. Àwọn lànà, àwọn lèmi lágbára Ọlọ́run, àwọn náà ló tún ṣe máa jẹ́ ọ̀la. Bí gbogbo wa ṣe máa jẹ́ ọ̀la. Because wọ́n ní nǹkan tá a bá ṣe léyìn, ìtàn òní lọ́la. This shall be a reference point. It shall be subject of scholastic research in years to come. Tó bá sọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation. So we are privileged pé we are building history. Future do not just happen. People plan and build the future. And that's what we're doing along Kawaye. So we are privileged again to have her amongst us today. Welcome.
Ashegoni, Adukwalado Long for joining. Thank you so much, my learned friends. I'd call you friends, brothers and sisters. We thank God for today. Ashegoni, it's a privilege to be here always. God bless.
Ashegoni, thank you very much. Gẹ́gẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe gbọ́ lẹ́nu barrister nígbà tó ń sọ lẹ́ǹkan, kẹ̀lẹ́ ti gbọ́ lẹ́nu directorate director wípé a ní àlejò pàtàkì láàrin wa, ojú ni wọ́n kì í ṣàìmọ̀ fọlọ́kọ. It's special at all times, most especially today that he will have the privilege of interacting with the members of the Global Directorate, and it's going to be on record for posterity that nígbà tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ directorate it's a platform that people agree to disagree and agree and disagree to agree. We respect dissenting opinions. And this is why today, when you will be hearing from me. But I should tell us in advance that we are going to go first into the panelist section. And once the panelists have finished asking or responding to some of the questions that we're asking them to enlighten us with, we will then introduce Dr. Akinfa Fonda, who for about 5 minutes will just do a short introduction of himself and his project, after which the panelists will then have the opportunity to ask him questions. And lẹ́yìn wá táwọn panelists bá ṣe tán, gẹ́gẹ́ bí a kì í ṣe ẹni tó mọ gbogbo ẹ̀ tán, torí brother wa kan ló sọ ní ọgbọ́n àgbọ́n jù, ó máa ń dọlọ́gbọ́n láàmú. So we're going to leave the floor open fún àwọn èèyàn tó wà níbí. Others will say èrò ìwòran, but in directorate we don't have èrò ìwòran because àgbà ló tó rò lọ. It's been said that the silent observer can be, or indeed are the best judges. So we want their own opinion. They will provoke questions. They'll be given the opportunity to ask one question each from Dr. Fakonda and the panelists. Life in Ota, Polo Pejo. Ayabesile, Iriya ni. So I'm a very question. Eje kin kọ́kọ́ lọ bá brother mi, I'm checking. Any question ye, no. Kindly explain your understanding of regionalism. What is regionalism?
Definition to him is simple gone. My bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti sọ pé bẹ̀rẹ̀ fẹ́ wà cynical ni pé repeating something you've done before where you failed for reasons that are very, very bizarre. So, lọ́dọ̀ mi ò nǹkan tá a ti ṣe rí ni tí ò dẹ̀ jù wá. a lè fẹ́ padà sí díẹ̀ kí ló change tá a fi believe wípé nǹkan tó lè máa gbé wa nísìnyí yẹn. Next line ni wípé kí n sọ pé regionalism situation tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n pín wa politically into segments or sections kí olúkálùkù ní X amount of autonomy. Then regionalism maybe a lè sọ pé fallout and try láti manage effect amalgamation. Bí a kà sọ pé regionalism it's another stride in the direction of what God did not create or what God did not assign himself to, in a sense. So personal interest in would be pé kí olúkálùkù lọ́tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀. So regionalism in a simple sense for me is just a futile effort in trying to force a situation to jẹ́ pé kò work Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ follow designing. Ẹ ṣeun.
Thank you. Ẹ ṣe bá. Ìyáàfin Fádàǹṣe Ògúnlànà, ọ̀rọ̀ kan yọ. Báwo lẹ̀yin ṣe rí nǹkan tí brọ́dà wa sọ? Kí ni báwo lẹ ṣe lè ṣàlàyé regionalism?
I think wọ́n ní sọ̀rọ̀ tó àti wọ́n ti define ẹ̀ deeply sí fún nǹkan tí regionalism jẹ́. Èmi believe wí pé kéèyàn ṣe àwọn nǹkan tí ó ń ṣe all the time tí ò benefit ara ẹ̀ or benefit anybody tó ìtún wá sọ pé òun tún máa tún ṣe again òun tún máa ṣe. Like ìgbà tí bàbá wa Tinubu tó ń campaign ó ní nǹkan ibi tí Buhari ti dúró ibẹ̀ ló ń ti máa bẹ̀rẹ̀. So ó join ní àwọn nǹkan tí because kò sí nǹkan tí Buhari ṣe 8 years tó fi wà ń bẹ̀ 0 kò sí nǹkan kan tó ṣe ju evil lọ pé àwọn Fúlàní ń pààyàn kò dẹ̀ rí nǹkan kan ṣe sí i. Wọ́n sọ pé life màálù ó dáa ju wọ́n worth more than human being. So bàbá wa dẹ̀ ní gbogbo orú àwọn nǹkan bẹ̀rẹ̀ tó ti parí yẹn ibẹ̀ lòun náà ló ti máa bẹ̀rẹ̀. Nǹkan tí ó ṣe ní 8 years tí àrójútùú tá a rí tó jẹ́ pé problem upon problem ni disaster ni 8 years yẹn. So wọ́n dẹ̀ tún ní àwọn máa tún join ní nǹkan tó ṣe wagon yẹn làwọn tó fẹ́ follow. So nǹkan tẹ̀mí believe pé regionalism mean nìyẹn.
Ṣé, thank you very much. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, torí àsìkò, especially nítorí a ní àlejò, a special appearance rather, láàrin wa. Àwọn nǹkan tí a bá bèèrè lọ́wọ́ ẹnìkan abẹ́ni méjì, opinion lè wà tẹ́ fẹ́ express nípa the same topic. Tá a bá lè kọ sílẹ̀. So when we're asking you to give your parting shot, ẹ lè ní oore ọ̀fẹ́ láti address wọn nígbà yẹn. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n lọ sórí ìbéèrè kejì. And ẹ lè kópọ̀. I will ask Dr. Oyefule this question. Please compare the concept that is regionalism with restructuring, which is other concept our people are clamoring for. What is the difference between both restructuring and regionalism? Thank you, sir.
Regionalism is an aspect of restructuring. But you see, every single country power organized, based on the constitution that you agree upon. You see, there was a time during the First Republic to regionalism, a form of it, subscribe to. And more, based on that concept, regionalism, the Prime Minister was able to declare a state of emergency in the Western region, which really should not have occurred. But our unfair by the loss of regionalism here, Because unitary system, so we've gone from regionalism to unitary system. And that unitary system, restructure. Because right now there's just too much power in the center. Somebody restructure, regionalism, which is less cohesive. But lágbára Ọlọ́run, regionalism yẹn nìkan dẹ̀ kọ́ ni gbogbo nǹkan tá à ń béèrè fún. Even let's assume regionalism ṣẹlẹ̀ lénìí. Restructuring tá à ń béèrè fún will still continue because every region has a different view of what they want their own future to be. Àwa dẹ̀ mọ̀ nǹkan tá àwa ń fẹ́ kí future wa jẹ́. So even if we ever become regionalism back come into place, we're still looking for something further than that. Now, to answer your question precisely, can you learn regionalism at regionalism? Well, can you learn restructuring at regionalism? Well, restructuring ni pé ká tún gbogbo ètò. Regionalism ni pé bá tí ń tuntun yẹn a fẹ́ kí each region tó kó ní autonomy within it by itself. Autonomy is now decided according to the constitution. How far is there autonomy? Autonomy táwa dẹ̀ ń béèrè fún ni autonomy tó máa fún wa ní ability to do what we really want to do. In other words, do we want the ability to call for a plebiscite? I pray to God Almighty, current level of regionalism, regionalism, might include the plebiscite clause, whatever the new constitution looks for, or looks like rather. So we need to be very careful about regionalism restructuring, because one does not preclude the other. And one also at the same time could be an extension of the other. How far do we want it to be an extension should be left to each individual ethnic group within the country. Barrister.
Thank you very much, Eshegon. Mama wa ẹ̀yin ni ọpọ́n Mrs. Sandra Popolabi. And ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ níbi tí bàbá ti dúró, mo fẹ́ fi nǹkan kan kún tí mo fẹ́ kẹ́ tún yànnàná fún wa. During the week, I heard Baba Bode George wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ nípa regionalism, pé àwọn tó ń clamor fún regionalism, pé ṣé wọn ò ro wàhálà tó lè dá sílẹ̀. Because under the region, pé Ogun State, Oyo State, Osun, and all the new states, they have their capital in Ibadan. Are they suggesting that all those people, if they are saying that we want to go back to the region, ṣé kò lè fa wàhálà àwọn tó ti wá lómìnira nísìn pé kí wọ́n tún padà sí bọ́n ṣe wà tẹ́lẹ̀? Ìyẹn ni mo fẹ́ kẹ́ bá wa sọ opinion yín pa.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni. Kí n tó sọ yẹn ní ṣókí, ẹ jẹ́ n sọ nǹkan kan nípa question difference yẹn. Bẹ́ẹ̀mi ṣe rí restructuring is a process. It's a process. How do we get from A to B? The B is the regionalism, which is the legal structure of governing a country or set of countries or states. So I think we need to be clear about that. So àwọn tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa restructuring, wọ́n fẹ́ tú nǹkan tò ní. Tẹ́ bá tú tò tán, nǹkan tó bá jáde níbẹ̀, you still have to carry on, which is that regionalism. That is the framework of how you're going to run yourself, how you're going to organize yourself. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹ ṣe sọ pé àwọn àgbà wa wọ́n question pé tá bá padà síbẹ̀ ṣé kò ní jẹ́ wàhálà sílẹ̀. Mo fi tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ answer question yìí, kò ṣe pé mo fẹ́ fojú di wọ́n. Mo fẹ́ question wọn ni pé ńgbà wo ni ó difficult téèyàn ò gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe nǹkan kan. So because something is difficult, rather than something is right, because there's a difference. Is it right to do it? Not that is it easy. There is no easy way out in life when people are dying, when people are starving. There's no easy way out. So, konjo, we're in the 21st century right now. We have to move with the times. The times is saying in every country on earth, they are chunking things up in small sizes, manageable sizes. Because the bigger you are, the more challenging actually that you have to be able to manage not just your people, because you can't live life, even though you're a government. You have no ultimate right to tell people how they're going to live their lives. And as such, what is the mood of the people? Are they moving forward with the rest of the world? Or are they set in the dark ages where actually regionalism could work in Kong, and therefore kakuku drosi biti awayi? If evolution in Kotan Soroi, and therefore we have to move with the times. So I disagree with seriousness. I totally and honestly disagree, because there are huge benefits in chunking things up, especially Taba Wobitatimbo, which is we are different people. We keep saying it over and over and over again. We're not in agreement on a lot of things. Even though Yoruba we still have the same vision. We still have the same ethics. We still have the same values and all of that. But about what other people in other regions of Nigeria call Nigeria, we are different. That difference does not have to be a problem. Actually, that difference, we could celebrate it by letting people be who they are, be who they have been created to be. And therefore, Nisho Kisa, I disagree with him. I think it's short-sightedness, and I think it's pandering to certain quarters in Nigeria who have held us back for years, for decades, for centuries, and we cannot carry on for the sake of our children and unborn children. Eshegoni.
Thank you, Eshegon. Question me, from brother me, Amoteku. This third question is dealing with the Constitution. Do you think amending the military imposed Constitution to accommodate or to make provision for a referendum with plebiscite rather, is a better and faster route to attaining the Yoruba nation sovereignty?
Interestingly, I note on one thing, and it's been one of the things that will remind me for a very long time. Actually, near affliction in Nigeria, which is this idea of paying presume pay authority. Sebarantinjo Kini Ajimobi, Osoroyen, it's a lot deeper than in Koto come across. I am the constituted authority. I can need presumption here, we actually become kind of powerful dinosaurs in Kotoba Wala without consulting the people. There are a few procedures to just only adopt. Everybody has the opportunity to contribute. And this is a matter of dealing with the principle of inclusion. Kini Ideri is not simply a matter of where contribute, but it gives everybody the feeling of money responsibility, money duty. Now, so, I read so many things to share the enjoyment, and it just seems like it's a case of somebody sitting down somewhere and loading these ideas on others. Unfortunately, National Assembly were all kind of were alien the idea of the people are not a stock. they are not a commodity tó yẹ pé máa lò láti fi buy political advantage àbí ẹ máa fi maneuver political advantage. So question in a sense goes back to the idea of we need leaders who will respect the ideas of the people generally, which is something we don't have. Ó dàbí pé a wà allergic. So mo feel pé ibi tí mo fẹ́ jálù sí ó dàbí pé ó máa wà ahead of ibi tá à ń lọ. So ẹ jẹ́ kí n ṣe hold ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ náà. Ẹ ṣeun.
Thank you very much. Sister Yemisi, ìyáàfin. Ṣé ẹ fẹ́ kí n repeat question àbí ẹ gbọ́? Ṣé wọ́n fẹ́ dáhùn? Okay. Do you think amending the military imposed constitution to accommodate or to make provision for a referendum with plebiscite is a better and faster route to attaining the Yoruba nation sovereignty?
To be honest, I don't know what to say about that, because to me personally, I will love kí wọ́n gbàgbé gbogbo orú nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ ẹ̀ka kí Yorùbá kúrò ní sísítẹ́ẹ̀mù Nàìjíríà, ká govern ara wa, kí Ìgbò govern ara ẹ̀, kí Haúsá Fúlàní kan govern ara wọn, káwa náà govern ara wa. So constitution or no constitution that will have nothing to do with us. So every region must start nǹkan tó bá fẹ́ kí ìlú titi ẹ̀, nation titi ẹ̀ kó jẹ́ in future. So because ibi tó tún gbé lọ yẹn, well, kò sí possibility pé bóyá they will agree on it, but tó bá yẹ pé wọ́n dẹ̀ wá agree on that, èmi believe pé ó tún máa take a longer time láti kí a tó tún bẹ̀rẹ̀ pé we want to do this, we want to do that for Yoruba land. So èèyàn kan bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ ní bóyá 3 days ago, ńgbà tí ó send fídíò kan sí mi about this man army Burkina Faso nǹkan pé òun wò pé ó máa dá kí àwọn ológun gbàjọba fún our desperate, yes, but àwọn ológun ti ọ̀dọ̀ títí wa tó ń gbàjọba tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀, they don't do it right, because mo believe pé nǹkan tó ṣe gbàjọba ni pé kán lè ṣe nǹkan dáadáa fún wa, kán change gbogbo nǹkan tí ò dáa. Yàtọ̀ sígbà tí ìdí àgbọ̀n wà around tó introduce war against indiscipline àti environmental, mi ò rí nǹkan kan tí àwọn ológun ṣe tó make it better. The only thing tí wọ́n lo àwọn ológun fún táwọn àmọ̀tẹ́kùn náà ti tún start all over ni pé bóyá èèyàn kan gba ilé èèyàn kan lọ bá wọn jà ń bẹ̀, èèyàn kan gba ìyàwó èèyàn kan lọ jà ń bẹ̀, and that is not what the purpose of creating all those things. So I don't know, to be honest, I don't really know the real answer for that question. I would love them to let us go on our own, kí everybody kó lọ yanjú bó bá ṣe fẹ́ ṣègbésí ayé ẹ̀.
Jẹ́ kí n gbìyànjú láti tó bá possible kí n rẹ̀ pé nǹkan tẹ̀ ń sọ ni wípé ọ̀rọ̀ náà dàbí ọba rán níṣẹ́, odò ọba kún, odò ọba ò ṣe é rọ̀lù, a lè fi ṣe ọba lè ká má jẹ. Ṣé nǹkan tẹ̀ ń sọ nìyẹn?
Yeah, in a way.
Ẹ ṣé gan. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n pe màmá wa Mrs. Sandra Popola Obi, bóyá wọ́n fẹ́ kún yín lẹ́yìn lórí ìbéèrè yẹn.
Pé bóyá kí wọ́n amend constitution, is it better and faster route to obtaining Yoruba nation?
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Ṣé rí ọ̀rọ̀ náà ó dájúrú? Ó dájúrú in the sense that unless téèyàn bá wà ní corridor of politics, èèyàn lè máa mọ kí ni díẹ̀ tí àwọn nǹkan míì táwọn ẹlòmíì ń ṣe, politicians ń ṣe, tí ò mọ́gbọ́n dání. àníyàn dẹ̀ lè máa mọ̀ nítorí pé kí ni gbogbo nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ kọ́ ni wọ́n máa fi ń hàn wá, because that's the nature of politics. And that mo lè sọ yẹn ní bóyá bí ìlú tó jẹ́ pé nǹkan lọ dáadáa tó ní kálukú trust ara wọn to an extent. Ìlú tá à ń pè Nàìjíríà kò sí trust níbẹ̀, bóyá trust láàárín government àtàwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n ń govern kò sí trust níbẹ̀. So kò sí nǹkan tán lè ṣe táwọn èèyàn máa believe pé on face value náà ń ṣe, wọ́n máa believe pé nǹkan kan wà ń díẹ̀ tí wọ́n ti sọ fún wa. Ó dẹ̀ lè wà lóòótọ́ kó jẹ́ pé wọ́n fi nǹkan kan pamọ́ fáwọn èèyàn wọn, because tí ò bá jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mi ò mọ ìdí ẹ̀ tó ṣe jẹ́ pé aranrin mọ́ ká máa tinker, ká máa gé díẹ̀díẹ̀ kúrò nínú constitution yẹn, ká máa fi míì ká fi tẹ̀, bí ẹni pé à ń gé plaster a fi ń ṣe egbò, bí egbò yẹn kò tí ì jiná o, àtún gbé plaster lé, kàkà kó jẹ́ pé ká gbé ẹni náà lọ sí surgery, ká gbé lọ wọnú surgery, ká kúkú gbogbo nǹkan tó ń ṣe àrùn tó wà lára ẹ̀ ká kúkú tiẹ̀ deal pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ and start all over again with the hope pé ẹni yẹn á tètè heal up. Òun ni ọ̀rọ̀ tèmi rí tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí, pé wọ́n ṣáà fi plaster ṣe ṣáá, pé wọ́n fi plaster ṣe. Ó lè gbé wa dé Yorùbá nation, I'm not sure, because ẹni tó bá rí ọjọ́ iwájú nìkan náà ló lè mọ̀ ibi bóyá ó lè gbé wa débẹ̀ àbí ò lè gbé wa débẹ̀. But ní ìtí mo dúró tèmi ń wò yìí o, ó kàn máa extend pain wa ni. Even bó bá tiẹ̀ máa gbé wa débẹ̀, ọdún wo là ń sọ yìí? A sọ pé a gba democracy 25 years. Ẹ̀yin náà wo ibi tá ti ń bọ̀ ní 25 years yẹn sí ibi tá wà ń sìn. Ìgbésẹ̀ wo náà gbé ta fi lè pè ní democracy gan náà tó ń pariwo ẹ̀? Tó jẹ́ pé tó bá gbé kéèsì dé court, ó lè take 10 years kan tó dá kéèsì yẹn. Ṣé democracy nìyẹn? Because that's supposed to be the freedom that people seek. I mean, the court is the last hope of man. Isn't that what they say? But people are not getting the justice. So, ṣé ìdí afẹ́ náà làwọn máa sọ in 10, 20, 30 years time? Nítorí pé kí ni àwọn kan refuse láti take the pill that is going to solve our problem right now. The pill. So, nǹkan tẹ́mi rò pa lack, and this is from my own general observation, I could be wrong, is we lack leaders who are bold, who are confident, who are ethical, who are honest. We lack those, and those are just some of the things Timolero right now, because they're not feeling the pulse of the people. What is the word on the streets of Nigeria? Because as a leader, as whether you're a president or whichever leadership you have in whichever area of politics or even non-political areas, you should know how your people are feeling. And people are saying, we are tired. We've had it. We've done this for over 60 years and it had gotten us nowhere. So to now be putting plaster on it, I think we're just storing up problems for ourselves. We're not being honest with each other. So tough wa. Nítorí pé kíni, there is something that we're not aware of as normal, ordinary people of Nigeria, that maybe the politicians know. Therefore, we cannot trust them, that they have our interest at heart, our best interest at heart. Madrum Beye, Eshe.
Thank you very much, man. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ṣe sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan, tí ẹ bá fẹ́ ṣe parting shot yín, gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n wa lè máa ní oore ọ̀fẹ́ láti address àwọn nǹkan tí ẹ fi pé bóyá àbí lọ yín personally. But mo fẹ́ béèrè question kan lọ́wọ́ Dr. Oyefule. Eléyìí mo fẹ́ kí gbogbo wa náà ká rò dáadáa, torí wọ́n ní nǹkan tá a bá ṣe ní ọ̀rọ̀ ìtàn ló máa di lọ́la. For the benefit of those that will be watching this video later, maybe in 50 years' time, even after Tabati gets legitimate expectation, which is a sovereign Yoruba nation, Oyeka go question it. It has been said that you cannot build something on nothing. We can't build something on nothing. If we believe in the last 25 years, the nation we all come to know as the Federal Republic of Nigeria is being run on nothing, which is we, the people. We, the people. To just decree nothing impose fún and ara orokun, ara oradiye. Is it not then appropriate? Already, it is noteworthy that 2014 National Conference was inaugurated by the Nigerian president, former president, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, on the 17th of March, 2014 in Abuja, Nigeria. There was about 492 delegates that represented a cross-section of Nigerians, including the professional bodies group. Considering the reports of the conference is in archive, will it not be appropriate for President Tinubu's administration to revisit that which reflects the voice of Nigerians rather than give attention to anything other or a singularly sponsored bill? Over to you, Dr. Ifole.
Thank you. Actually, I think, okay, oops. Okay, thank you. Yeah, Igbateso bill, a singularly sponsored bill. What bill are you precisely talking about? Is it a general or one particular bill?
Yes, I think it's a bill we read in the newspaper, and without, for the abundance of doubt, a gentleman who obviously has gone through painstaking effort, presenting what he believed should be the way for our people, which we read in the newspaper that has now gotten to the president's table. That's the bill I'm referring to.
Okay.
I believe I distributed widely a copy of the bill for every one of us to have the privilege of actually perusing it before we come to this meeting, so that as our people say, so the question now is, we have something that subsequent government have completely abandoned to an archive. So that we pay kinship nìkan ló kọ, with me pé nǹkan tẹ́ nìkan kọ kò dáa, because nínú gbogbo nǹkan tó dá wà ńbẹ̀. But is it not appropriate for this government? Mama wa Popola ń sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan wípé the will of the people, the voice of the people, won't allude to it. And we already have that. But what they've done is they shut the people up. Buhari came. He didn't think they should revisit that. Baba wa yìí náà wà ńbẹ̀, Aṣíwájú. Is it not appropriate? Káti ẹ̀gbọ́n nǹkan tó ń sọ, kí ni recommendations tó wà níbẹ̀? Kán fún yẹn náà l'attention, kán give kán lo executive power pé kán gbé jáde ní archive for Yoruba, and indeed illegitimate we may consider this house of the legislative houses to be. That's the question, sir.
Well, in a normal situation where rationality takes hold of, that will have been the best thing for them to do, because moreover, the nation spent a lot of man hours and a lot of owo in 2014 for Ngoti Jonathan bring up. I would have thought that bring that up and let's all debate which part of it lo ma pe fun wa, which part of it no ni pe fun wa. But nobody has done that yet. I'm up for 18 years. Well, our mind has only 1 year so far, so our more got to man share. I think
ìjọba àríṣà bá mi wẹ́n tó sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn. Ẹ máa sọ̀rọ̀ lọ, sir.
Okay, thank you, Barrister. So, however, you have said it all. You cannot build something on nothing. Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn dẹ̀ sọ about two responses ago ní pé constituted authority in our own claim. It's not the people. Democracy means power to the people, with the people. But that constituted authority is not given to our people. It's taken on by the governors or whoever thinks they're in charge. I want to constituted authority. So power flows down from top down rather than from bottom up. So something built on nothing can never really stand. We have to do what, and I know you said towards the end, Nikki Yoshe, summary thought, but please allow me to go back to Madam Pokwala Obi. She said it. Nikwe, we actually must review a lot of things, Tashi and who we are going to teach our people. She didn't say what the next thing I'm saying, but we have to teach our people how to regard the people as the ultimate authority. Politicians lay hide and go far but politicians to go trustworthy. I'm ulterior motive to one. But we need to start looking for the people's ulterior need, or people's what is best for the people. In that way, we will build some certain level of trust, and we will allow the people to determine the form of their own democracy, as opposed to a so-called constituted authority to bear down on the people. So now, to answer your question, I think that 2014 archived documents should be brought up. Let's all see what's in it. Mo ṣe Ọlọ́run bóyá ó lè jẹ́ kí ní kọta ní pé àwọn people waste time ara wọn ni, then so be it. But if the archived material, there's a way to leak out most of the real material to physical archive. If it's of any use, then maybe we should save some time and go ahead and implement some of the things the archived materials will have revealed to us. Barrister. I think you're muted, Barrister.
Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn. Yeah, thank you. We need you to please contribute on the topic.
Emma Binu, I lost the question. Emma Binu.
The question was, instead of giving attention to a bill that was drafted by a single person, would it not be appropriate for the incumbent president to request for the archived report of a national conference that took place in 2014? And like Dr. Yufule said, a lot of money. A lot of money was spent to bring the conference about, and 492 delegates from the cross-section of Nigeria, including professional groups, now come together. And I don't know, just like Dr. Ifule said, the report has been speculative. Is it not appropriate for the president, I speak of President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, kí wọ́n lo executive power wọn wípé kí wọ́n gbé archive document yẹn wá kó jẹ́ nǹkan tí both himself can look into and the two upper legislative houses, even though we both agree that we can't build nothing on something on nothing. Opinion wọn náà kò sí bá ṣe fẹ́ ṣe wọ́n ṣe máa lẹ́nu bẹ̀. Ṣé kò yẹ kí wọ́n gbé document yẹn jáde kán wo nǹkan tí àwọn èèyàn yẹn sọ nígbà bẹ̀ àti ìtàn dé síwájú wọn nísìnyí tán ti gbà yìí tán bá nìkan tán ṣe gbé fún wọn àní kán máa wò but kán rántí pé ìkọ̀kan náà wà ní archive àti náwó lé lórí. Thank you.
Situation confab yẹn was one of the very first steps in the right direction and as a people and I'm talking in terms of the 200 million.
You are muted. You're muted.
Shortly after Tinubu to take over power, much proposal ni pé kó engage the hostile foreign policy pẹ̀lú Niger Republic. Now, yes, he has executive powers, but the executive powers does not necessarily mean wípé èèyàn kankan máa make decision off the cuff. Now, a ti ní àwọn kìíní tó ń lọ lemọ́. If it were a case to jẹ́ pé a máa ń lè consult ara wa SARS kan máa still fẹ́ ní pé dinosaur ni wá in a Jurassic Park ìbá help. Nínú Yorùbá nation there was a time jẹ́ pé our supposed leader came out and said something along the lines of pé a gbọ́dọ̀ ní referendum. Why didn't he use the opportunity of leadership láti consult pẹ̀lú àwọn tó wà around wọn instead of falling flat or becoming embarrassed? You don't make decisions like that. So we still have that primitive notion wípé ó dẹ̀ wà nínú Buga principle wa wípé èmi lọ̀gá yín, I can say whatever I want. Now, until we find a way to force these people to turn around from that idea, I'm going to continue that money problem in. Confab, as the law, as the a step forward. It's just a case of way escalated. If there's something new, as a matter of procedural evolution, and come join them more. But this business symptom did not like way. I really get mind me over. We went back to the old national anthem. Me get over it. A few days ago, around Olokwa, don't try láti kọ orin yẹn ní barrack wọn. I mean, the whole thing is just wild. All they take one probably less than 10 days láti make decision yẹn. We call ourselves a democracy. Láti ọ̀dọ̀ president títí dé maybe House of Rep. If you don't money, there is no inclusion with the people. After that, me Bokeli can also on she surgery, we on she town hall meeting or anything like that. Nigeria will continue to fail. Taba continue being. If you don't find a way, let's make sure I include everyone. We come up with regionalism. Share everybody look to line. Everybody who are happy for this decision. We have this business with Confab. We have Biafra saying what they want. We have Yoruba Nation saying what we want. I think the time has come for àwọn tá a pè ní olórí kan come together kan wá that mutual way forward fún wa. But again, the same thing tó ń hinder wa ni pé kí a set of people, the minority, very very small minority, tó ń kóra àwọn ní leaders kó máa try láti ṣe nǹkan which is their own interest rather than the interest of the people. So until we go back, ká wo the real ideology of democracy, a máa continue láti ṣe mistake láti máa mislead àwọn èèyàn wa ká lè máa get trajectory tó yẹ ká gbà ká máa get it wrong. Ẹ ṣeun.
Ẹ ṣé gan. Thank you very much. Ẹ má bínú torí àsìkò ń lọ kò dúró dẹnìkan. Mo máa bọ́ sórí question mi. Gbogbo kíni ló ṣe máa jọra wọn bí ìgbà tá à ń play jigsaw ni o.
Ó máa jọra wọn.
Ó máa jọra wọn. The question is, in view of mixed feelings from the north, gbogbo nǹkan tí a bá gbé síbẹ̀, wọ́n lò opinion tiwọn. Màmá wa Sandra Kúpọ̀lá Obi ti sọ wípé àyàtọ̀ pátápátá ọ̀sán àtòru ni wá, àyàtọ̀ fúnra wa. Independence wa looking back, 1957 wọ́n làwọn ò tí ì ready. Mi ò mọ̀ pé èèyàn máa ready fún òmìnira. Ẹrú ẹ má ti mo ṣe fẹ́ máa ṣe ẹrú lọ o, ẹ má ti ìsinmi o. Àmì ẹ má ti fi mí sílẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ ẹ máa sìn yín fọ́dún mẹ́ta sí. So nísìnyí, there's a mixed feeling from the north. Kò sí nǹkan tẹ́ gbé síbẹ̀ tán oppose. Ṣé ẹ rò pé gbogbo nǹkan tí a gbé síbẹ̀ yìí, number one, do you think obstacle yẹn ṣe rò pé are they surmountable? That's number one question. Then ìtọ́jú tẹ̀lé ni pé mo ń try láti join question méjì lórí àsìkò. Ní wípé President Buhari ó sign law to encourage àwọn èwe kan participate ní governance ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Now, I mean ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ní àsìkò tó kù fún wa gẹ́gẹ́ bí orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ká tó mọ̀ bóyá the way forward, ká tó lè determine the way forward. Ǹjẹ́ opportunity ó wà fún àwọn ìwé wa láti jẹ́ ara ìjọba níbikíbi tí wọ́n bá ṣọ̀dọ̀ sí? Ṣé present system ṣó enable àwọn ìwé láti participate? Eléyìí sí nínú question but mo fẹ́ fi yànnà náà. 2 days ago, I was reading about party political funding in the United Kingdom. Only law to regulate it. You can't just say pé kíní kan. And I was shocked because when I did property law in law school, question to set, encourage corruption. And I raised that afterwards with a professor of law who thought there was nothing wrong with it. Lẹ́nu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta lórílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá ní lórílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà. A rí àwọn ọmọ kékeré mẹ́ta, wọ́n porúkọ wọn ní Bello. Bello kọ́ wà ń bẹ̀. El Rufai àti kí lorúkọ ẹ̀? Barrister ṣe rántí orúkọ bọ́ yẹn. Bàbá wọn former military kìíní ni wọ́n. Tí wọ́n ní àwọn dá mọ́tò 150,000 padà wípé ìyà ń jẹ àwọn èèyàn wọn. Now, ọmọ 27 years old with the experience tèmi ní kò sí bó ṣe fẹ́ ṣe tó lè wọ upper legislative house tó ń bá sponsor ẹ̀. We can ask anybody to end up in the Senate. You're looking at this about 1 billion naira for campaign. So I'm a good politics ní gbogbo ìtànṣe pọ́n wà lọ́dọ̀ mẹ̀kúnnù yẹn wípé 150,000 àwọn ò fẹ́. Ta ló sponsor wọn? Torí a mọ̀ pé ọmọ bọ̀rọ̀ kìíní ni wọ́n tán fowó sí. Ǹjẹ́ ọmọ èèyàn tí ò lẹ́ni tí ò ní ẹbí youth tá ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa wọn tán lọ́pọlọ wọ́n lè má ní ill-gotten wealth abẹ́ni tó máa sponsor wọn. Ǹjẹ́ wọ́n lè ní opportunity láti participate nínú governance pẹ̀lú bí nǹkan ṣe rí nísìnyí? So àwọn ìbéèrè tí mo fẹ́ pé mo fẹ́ béèrè lọ́wọ́ yín ni màmá.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni, ẹ jẹ́ kí n bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti ẹ̀yìn yẹn tẹ́tí mú. Ó jẹ́ pé ẹ ti answer question yẹn gan fúnra yín because àwọn nǹkan tí mò ń jot down as you were speaking were the things that you have said. Tá bá wo cost of politics, tá bá wo àwọn wo ni ó wà ńdìí ẹ̀, tá bá wo èlò ni wọ́n ná nígbà tí wọ́n bá ń ṣe election, run up to election when they're campaigning. Ta ló fẹ́ ní owó yẹn amongst all the young people, even àwọn àgbàlagbà gan, irú àwa báyìí, owó níbo lówó yẹn ti wá. Àtowó yẹn bá wà gan, we're so wasteful, it's unbelievable. The money goes into people's pockets to feed their own people, to satisfy their own lavish way of life, regardless of what's going on in the country. Ìyẹn kan. Èyí kejì ni pé the way tí wọ́n ṣe structure Nigeria, ọmọ nobody ò lè di somebody unless tó bá jẹ́ pé ó ṣe nǹkan kan, pé ó fẹ́ lọ sí politics ó jẹ́ ọmọ nobody ó lè, àfi tó bá jẹ́ pé ó jẹ́ kan nínú àwọn touts wọn àbí àwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n fẹ́ lò láti fi dé ibi tí wọ́n fẹ́ dé. So therefore ó wá jẹ́ èèyàn tó jẹ́ jàgídíjàgan ẹ̀dá nìkan náà ló lè di pé bóyá o ní àbó ti ṣe nǹkan kan fún wọn tí wọ́n lè fi sọ pé okay ìwọ náà lọ síbẹ̀. It's almost like wọ́n select ara wọn ni pé ìwọ ló kàn, èmi kọ́ ló kàn, àṣà ti gbọ́, ìwọ náà lọ, ìwọ jẹ́ ń bì, àjẹ́ ń bì, àjọ ń ṣe fúnra wa ni. Bó ṣe structure nǹkan ta ní right now, constitution ta ní yẹn tí wọ́n ṣàrán rí mọ́ pé òun náà ni la máa lò. Nǹkan tó fà á nìyẹn tó ṣe jẹ́ pé gbogbo nǹkan tá à ń rí ń sìn, anomalies tá à ń rí, wọ́n intentionally stitch it together ni for that reason. Nǹkan tí mo tún wá fẹ́ bèrè ní lọ́wọ́ gbogbo wa ni pé tá bá wo lọ tá bá wo bọ̀, àwọn ọmọ wo náà ni okay Buhari sọ pé the young people òun ti sign bill young kìnìkan. Apart from pọ́n a fi ẹnu sọ, what programs ni ìjọba fi sílẹ̀ láti support àwọn ọmọdé to coach them, to mentor them, to help them, to expose them to how governance is done? What kind of program, educational program will not set up for ọmọ yẹn láti graduate from to become leaders of tomorrow? Ẹ jẹ́ a béèrè lọ́wọ́ ara wa. What kind of experience no fún àwọn ọmọ yẹn? Because out of the education will come experience as well. Kán lọ volunteer, àbí wọ́n lọ ṣe internship, or be something like that. Irú nǹkan tí wọ́n ń ṣe ní àwọn ìlú tó pera wọn ní ìlú nìyẹn. So that you start them very young, you expose them, and you gradually mentor them to the height that you expect them to get to. Ní gbogbo yẹn, a kò fẹnu sọ ni, a ti ṣe legislation, ó dẹ̀ ti tán síbẹ̀. No implementation, no monitoring, no evaluation, no feedback, no tweaking of the policy, no, ta ló mọ̀ pé policy yẹn gan wà gan pàápàá náà tá ń pariwo èyí. So there is a lot wrong with it. Tó jẹ́ pé unless a bá ṣe gbogbo ìnànà gbogbo ká yọ gbogbo ẹ̀ ká tú sí wẹ́lẹ́wẹ́lẹ́ ká wá tún tò, èmi ò lọ́bì kankan. And that goes back to the question of constitution tó ń patching job. Old, wọ́n á fi new rag sí old rag, tó bá yá ó máa yá, kò sí ni, ìyẹn kan. Then your main question is, in the view of the mixed feelings from the north, which they oppose to everything Thomas saw in the south, tí south bá gba ọ̀nà kan, north á sọ pé ọ̀nà míì ló ń fẹ́ gbà. Do we think that the obstacles are surmountable? I think they are insurmountable. Because we're not the same. We do not think the same. Ẹ jẹ́ ká má tanra wa. We have different views. How can somebody that says he represents some people, group of people, stand up in our own National Assembly, read out this false constitution, and identify a point in that constitution that supports cows, and see cows as citizens, as people, and therefore the constitution applies to the cows, even which surpasses the human beings in the south? And you now think that these people will agree with us because they see things, what, the same way? They don't. We say A, they say B. Kò sílùú náà ní orílẹ̀-èdè ayé yìí tọ́lọ́run dá. Even gbà tí Ọlọ́run máa dá èèyàn, tó máa dá ẹ̀dá. Ó sọ fún wa pé àwa we are above those other living things. Òun fi wọ́n sí ìṣọ́ wa. He did not put us in power with them. So how can anybody who is in a position of leadership, what message is he sending to his own people, who some of them are illiterate and therefore maybe do not understand the Constitution or be able to comprehend what we're talking about? To now say that it is surmountable for us that we will reach a compromise, a middle ground, is impossible. You can only reach a middle ground with like-minded people. And if we fail to understand that, and we're saying, oh, maybe taba for one more time, eventually, one catch up pẹ̀lú wa gbogbo owó tá ti run síbẹ̀ láti educate wọn. Owó náà dà. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi, owó náà dà. Receipt dà. Receipt dà. Nǹkan tó fi owó yẹn ṣe. So we need to ask ourselves, and don't let's keep hiding behind, ìkan náà ni wá, wọ́n pa wá pọ̀. Àwọn tó pa wá pọ̀, wọ́n ti gbàgbé pa gbogbo yẹn. Bó bá wù yín ẹ jí. Bó bá wù yín ẹ má jí. Bẹ́ bá ṣe ṣayé yín lẹ ṣayé yín. And we're saying, we know, we are awake now. We know exactly what's going on. You're pulling us back. And we are done with it. Over 60 years of it. Come on, please. But we were so hopeful. We were very hopeful. We thought we were getting somewhere. And I look back and see, what was your ambition? What was your aspiration? What did you like to do in life? Because and àwọn bàbá wa tó jẹ́ 80, tó jẹ́ 90. Àwọn míì tí wọ́n sọ fún wa pé fascist ni wá. Because we are asking for our right, our human right, to be free, to have freedom, freedom of mind, freedom of association, freedom of thinking, freedom of acting. And they do not see our point. And our konoyi, no sọ pé àwọn fight for democracy. If what we have today is what they call democracy, then we need to go back to the drawing board, because this is not it. This is something that is an invisible shackles. We have invisible shackles. Nígbà tá ṣe slavery, wọ́n gbé ṣẹ̀kẹ̀ṣẹ̀kẹ̀ sáwọn òbí wa lọ́wọ́ àtẹsẹ̀ wọn. Nísìn, àrí ṣẹ̀kẹ̀ṣẹ̀kẹ̀ yẹn mọ́, ṣùgbọ́n ó ṣì wà ń bẹ̀. The implications are there, all written. Àfẹ́ tó bá fọ́jú, afọ́jú gan fílẹ̀. Ó fílẹ̀ because kò rón jẹjẹ mọ́. Àwọn èèyàn ń pariwo, ìnira ti bá àwọn èèyàn. And why tá máa rọrin mọ́ nǹkan tí ò work? What kind of message are we sending each other? Àwọn èèyàn kan tí wọ́n rí wa as equal, àti equal sí màálù. Can you imagine the audacity of some of them to think that we're not human? It's degrading to even think we're sharing the same space. The same space. Ojú kan náà dẹ̀ fi ń wo gbogbo wa. Tá bá jáde kúrò ní Nàìjíríà, wọ́n á ní kan náà ni wá. Wọ́n dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé àyàtọ̀. Àyàtọ̀ gidi gan ni. Ẹ ṣé gan ni.
Ẹ ṣé gan. Thank you very much, ma. Ìyáàfin, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ má bínú, ẹ jẹ́ kí n ṣàlàyé bá ṣe máa tẹ̀síwájú. Tí ìyáàfin bá ti dáhùn question yìí tán, mo fẹ́ kí bàbá wa Òdùnà wọn ṣàlejò mi lè pọ̀ wọ́n ní àlejò wa. So mo fẹ́ kí wọ́n gbáradì from his heart. Eléyìí ṣe script. He's going to introduce himself and speak about his project for 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Please.
We are time conscious.
Sir, I'm pressed for time. 2 hours. I'm pressed for time. Please,
Oh,
I beg you.
You won't be waiting for 2 hours, sir.
No, I've been waiting for 2 hours. Now you said 3 o'clock.
So
I logged on 3 o'clock.
Yeah, that's when the meeting starts. So
I mean, if I'm a guest, if you give me for 2 hours, that's not fair.
No, I'm so sorry. Emma Binu, Emma Binu. Yeah, thank you. I can compare a question called Mama. Then after any opportunity Latin. Sorry. Ìyáàfin, a máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa referendum. a ti sọ̀rọ̀ nípa àwọn ọ̀dọ́, nípa àwọn youth. And the reference point we have to good governance in Nigeria in the last 25 years was Obasanjo's administration. Àdèmọ̀ ipa tí àwọn obìnrin tí wọ́n kó. Tá bá ń wo àsìkò tí gbogbo àwọn èèyàn tó wà lókè òkun tí wọ́n padà sílé, tí wọ́n ti padà nísìnyí, under Obasanjo ni. Tá bá ń wo àsìkò tẹ́ bá dé airport, ó plane, air condition pàdé yín lọ́nà, under Obasanjo ni. Tá bá wo time tí wọ́n consolidate debt wa, Obasanjo ni. Tẹ́ bá wo àsìkò tí obìnrin pọ̀ jaburata, tó jẹ́ pé kò sí ẹlẹ́yàmẹ̀yà, kò sọ́mọdé, kò ságbà, tó jẹ́ pé throughout Nigeria federal character quota system ó reflect nínú government yẹn, Obasanjo ni. Ṣé ẹ wá rò pé nísìnyí ṣé nǹkan sì rí bẹ́ẹ̀? Àbí the referendum tá à ń béèrè fún ṣó máa jẹ́ ìyàtọ̀ nínú ìjọba tá a sì ní lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ Nàìjíríà yìí tí wọ́n bá gbà láàyè? Ṣé ẹ mọ̀ pé ibi tí directorate dúró sí nìyẹn pé government of the people, by the people, for the people. And finally, Olori, we've always spoken about referendum. Give me opinion in it. Thank you.
A question tẹ́ bèrè ń sìn ó jẹ́ kí n máa wò ó pé ṣé ọmọ Nàìjíríà ni mí. Torí gbogbo nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ ní Ọbásanjọ́ sọ ṣe yẹn mi ò rí ń tèmi, mi mọ̀ bóyá mo wà ní another mo wà ní Spain, mi ò sí ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà torí mi ò rí nǹkan kan, gbogbo nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ ló ṣe yẹn I didn't see it. Now nípa nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ sọ, question tẹ́ béèrè pé ṣé tán bá ṣe referendum pé ṣé àwọn youth tàbí ẹjọ́ ẹ tún repeat just once.
Obìnrin yàtọ̀ fún àwọn youth, ṣé àwọn obìnrin máa ní ipa tó yé pé tó ipa to something that will be very impactful? Would women in our society be given opportunity to serve? More women.
Yeah, I mean, the more women we have in the government, the better for us. But unfortunately, àwọn obìnrin méjì kan ti tán kọ́kọ́, so many ladies are spoiled for us because everywhere tóbìnrin bá wà, we think about mothers and thinking the motherhood nature ta ní ó máa ń jẹ́ ká lè ṣe dáadáa. But títorí the way things are láti ìgbà ayé ṣé Maduike àbẹ̀wò ilé tó sá lọ tó lòun ní cancer yẹn. So any obìnrin tó bá ti wọ ọbẹ̀ ń sìn, the first thing they're thinking about is báwọn ṣe máa kówó jẹ. Ìkan tiẹ̀ tún sọ lórí tẹ́lẹ̀ pé òun máa make bastard money. So we should, I think pé we will be able, women will be able to, if they allow them to come into power like that. Èmi agree pé wọ́n máa ṣe nǹkan tó dáa. Wọ́n máa ṣe nǹkan tó dáa. It might not be all of them, just like men too. Kò ń ṣe gbogbo wọn ló ń ṣe nǹkan tó dáa. 95% of them are doing wrong thing because they're putting the money in their pocket, they're not thinking about anybody. So if women are allowed to do it, there's some women that are determined that enough is enough. What is going on now is not, it's unspeakable. It's not something to write home about. So if they can see the right women to get into the power like that, they will do fantastically well. That one aside, tí wọ́n bá ṣe mistake láti gbé àwọn tó jẹ́ pé ẹṣin wájú ni ti àwọn tẹ̀yìn ń wò, èmi believe pé wọn ò ní ṣe nǹkan tó dáa. But generally, in one word, it will be a good thing, and I believe what men can do, women can do better will come to light.
Ẹ ṣé gan. Thank you very much. Ẹ ṣé ìyáàfin. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n fi àsìkò yìí pé bàbá wa kan bá wa sọ̀rọ̀. A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín pé ẹ ní sùúrù. Àwọn panelists wa wọ́n ṣì ń padà bọ̀. Bàbá, kì í ṣe pé wọ́n ní apẹ́ kó tó jẹ, kò kí ń jẹ ìbàjẹ́. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ bá tan fídíò yín kí n lè gbé yín síbẹ̀. I've received so many text messages. Ẹ gbé bàbá síbí, ẹ gbé bàbá síbí. If there's anything all organization pride us in, we are not perfect, we're human like everybody else, but we've always been praised for being well organized. In our program today, we have you in a pride of place. Fair modular. Some said, oh, should it be part of the panelists? Yes. One kato be a no lady. Abala baba ṣe máa ń sọ kó lè rí bó ṣe rí. Ìgbà táyé máa yẹ wá, òun la máa ṣe nǹkan. Mo dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé lèmi ní wá ọ̀rọ̀ sọ̀tì. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ bá wa tan kámẹ́rà yín sà. Dr. Faponda, please, can you please put on your camera?
It's better for internet may not be steady. If camera is on, just
okay.
I'm Akin Faponda. You know me, I guess.
Yeah, I do know you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, bàbá, fún ìṣẹ́jú mẹ́wàá, ẹ bá wa nǹkan tí ẹ bá fẹ́ kàn mọ̀ nípa ara yín. Bill tó jẹ́ pé ẹni tó wà lóko àbí jù nísìn ó gbọ́ nípa ẹ̀ tó dẹ̀ ti déwájú president. There's been so many arguments about it. Wọn gbà, but nísìn wọ́n ti gbà. So a fẹ́ kẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ fún ìṣẹ́jú nítorí reason tá a sọ pé ìṣẹ́jú mẹ́wàá mọ̀ pé tí n bá fún yín ní ìṣẹ́jú 1 hour ẹ máa sọ̀rọ̀. But nítorí pé kẹ́ lè ní opportunity láti bá àwọn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n sọ̀rọ̀, kẹ́dẹ̀ lè ní opportunity láti bọ́ àwọn tó wá sípàdé, wọ́n lè ní question kan tó ń fẹ́ béèrè lọ́wọ́ yín ni mo ṣe fẹ́ ká gé kéré. Torí tó bá ti ń di bí aago 5 àbọ̀ ṣe ẹ rí pé àwọn èèyàn tuntun máa fẹ́ pé àwọn ń lọ. So it is very difficult to please everybody. So I plead with you to please, in the next 10 minutes, speak your mind. Then we can go to other section. The clock starts, sir.
Thank you very much. My name is Akin Faponda. In the last couple of weeks, I just choose to answer my father's name. I'm not answering Afenifere. I'm not asking for any other label at all. I was a civil servant. I retired 24 years ago as director in the presidency. And I've studied the system. Several things I need to clarify. There is no one knot again. It's a cliche that we just keep repeating. There is no one knot again. The Fulanis are separate from the Hausas, and the Hausas have come up to assert their identity now. We try to mix them with the Fulanis. We are making a very grave mistake, absolutely. Number two, 2014 confirmed report is a rehash of all kinds of agreements. I don't know if you are being, am I being heard?
Yeah, we're hearing
yes,
you.
we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Thank you very much.
Hear you.
Thank you very much. 2014 confirmed report is a rehash of all kinds of embellishments that I don't know anybody who has studied for cover to covers have studied it. Nothing too much to write about in terms of the foundation of a new country, nothing. They wanted to create 18 more states to make it to 52. That is the money to create more states of bureaucracy to waste money. Number three, from all the discussion I've seen today, utopia is good. The ideal is nice. But are we going to say it will be all or nothing unless we get to utopia of Yoruba nation? Then every other thing is rubbish. It shouldn't be so. It shouldn't be so. Then regional restructuring. Restructuring is a process. Outcome is the desire. We might restructure cosmetically. We might restructure to become a confederation.
Sorry for making noise.
We might restructure to whatever level.
Huh? No.
It's a matter of.
The volume.
It's a matter of content of the region. When a region,
Ẹ jẹ́ kán sọ̀rọ̀, ẹ jọ̀ọ́, please. Let him talk, please. Ẹ máa sọ̀rọ̀ yín lọ, sir. Ó dà pé wà muted. You're muted, sir.
Thank you. A region is a geographical definition of an entity of space, territory that has boundaries. What you do inside the region is the content matter. So there's nothing to worry about. A region is a part of the territory on the surface of the earth. Nothing to be fixated about whether it's negative or not. Restructuring is a process. You can go to the old hog and separate. You can have federation, you can have confederation. Okay, those are just clarifications. Now, the document I circulated, there are some times in life when certain issues just become very important at the right time. I just did that document in less than 2 hours on my computer, and I posted on 3 platforms. And it has been everywhere. In the last 2 weeks, I've been on virtually every TV channel in Nigeria. I've been on every newspaper interview on radio. That means there is some vacuum of knowledge, some vacuum of what is supposed to be and what it is. It appears to me, I'm not sure, that I may have just given a message that is now resonating. And only one thing is very important. I won't waste your time. You have the document already. If we can agree on one thing, and that my document, to say, let us have 2 tiers of government in Nigeria. Let the second tier have its own constitution. If that's the only thing we can agree on, meaning that Western region can now write its own constitution the way it desires. And nobody will determine the constitution. We are free to fashion our own environment the way we like. To make that fundamental shift. If that is the possible outcome of my effort, the rest is just cake. I was talking to Professor Akintoye last week about this matter. And I told him, Prof, if we get our region, if they call the meeting in Abuja, if we send the director to go and represent the Western region, what is wrong with that? Let other people do what they like in Nigeria. We will just behave as if we are neighbors. What is wrong with that? What is wrong with that? If within 2-3 months, we start embassies of a Western region in London, in New York, and in Melbourne, what is wrong with that? What is wrong with that? If we start our own JAM, the North has IJMB for a long time. We have 51 universities in Western region. If we start our own JAM in Nigeria, who is going to question it? Who will question it? If the question, we tell them to go to court, go to Supreme Court and question it, let's see. If we raise a bond, we want to do rail line from Badagry to Ikare, and it's a private sector project to do that rail line, fast train, and you raise bond in foreign exchange. Who is going to question that? Who is waiting for federal government to do rail line from Ikare to Badagry? Once we have a container of a region with our own autonomy, we will not break the cord, but we'll bend it so much that we'll just be effectively neighbors. And we are going to be neighbors, even if you have a nation. We are going to be neighbors anyway. US is still a neighbor to Mexico up to now, is it not? So some of the misgivings I keep hearing here, is because we are still thinking of the current and the past. We are not thinking of what will happen if we actually have a region. Look, somebody was telling me, and I believe it. With Western region, we choose sovereign right. Look, Michelin come back to Yoruba land. Dunlop come back to Yoruba land. All the companies that are living now, come back to Agbara. We give you guarantee to run your company. We give you incentive to come back. What is wrong with that? Nothing. Look, in 6 months, we'll drive the Igbos out of Yoruba land. Just go and recertify your CFO. Any CFO cannot stand unless you have Yoruba man as part of the ownership. What is wrong with that? We have to be creatively manage the affairs, and we'll just be neighbors. If you erect a boundary in Lokoja, who is going to stop us? To say you can't move cows across the border. Who is going to stop us? Anyway, overall, my documents went beyond the social media. I authored a 58-page document in detail. I delivered it by hand to the office of President Tinubu 2 days ago. And it's been received. I'm very sure it's been received.
Thank you very much, sir.
I've not finished, please. I've not finished. But if you cut me, I'll stop. Okay, I stop.
You know, unless in the platform, we're just trying to manage time.
But I've not spoken I'm not speaking 10 minutes now. I mean, you've already spent 2 hours asking questions. You don't want to hear, fine. Why are you inviting me?
Oh, no.
Barrister, I get to continue.
No, we cannot continue.
You stopped me just now.
Go on. How long? Let me ask. How long do you want, sir?
Please, I don't like that kind of question at all. I don't like that question. I'm not a frivolous person. I'm 71 for goodness sake. I'm not joking. You have no right to leave me like that at all.
Daddy, I'm 61.
I'm 10 years older than you.
Exactly, you are my brother.
And so let me talk.
I haven't asked you a question in a condescending manner. I'm looking at the general interest of all. Time is of essence. Other people.
I'm a special guest today. I used to come, but the way you handle me, I stayed away.
Yeah,
if you don't want me to talk, I stayed away. But I came now. You invited me, I came now. I came here with civility to talk about my issues. And you are cutting me off.
No, it's not mistakenly. You're talking about our national issue. I respect you and I respect your dissenting opinions.
Let me finish then. Let me finish.
But I'm also mindful of people also. So I don't want you to
let me finish.
Personal. Because
let me finish.
If I'm moderating.
Barrister,
thank
please,
you.
drop it. Please.
Thank you. Thanks.
Okay. Regions.
This complex.
This last week, I belong to a committee, a coalition of indigenous ethnic nationalities. All major tribes of Nigeria are on that group. And we've agreed to have 8 regions instead of 6. The 6 regions have so much injustice in it. We have corrected it now in the map we have produced. For example, Southern Borno is mainly Christian.
Oh, yeah? Yes.
Southern Yobe is mainly Christian. Even Southern Bauchi Tabalewa is mainly Christian. Southern Kebbi is also different. So we've redrawn the map now. The way it was done where you miss people anyhow, the map appears clear. And I can assure you now, 1/3 of us in that group, they are from Middle Belt.
These people respect themselves now. Kilo Shele.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Thank you.
So in effect, the 8 regions that we have proposed is getting a lot of attention, and most of the people in the Middle Belt, they really want to separate themselves from the core North. And we're giving them the platform to do that, which is nice, actually. The last point I will make is that we should not thinking of the old. In Yoruba land, in Yoruba nation, I did a study where 26 sub-nationalities with defined land territories. 26. Ìlàjẹ, Yewa, Àwórì, Ìjẹ̀bú, Rẹ́mọ, Ẹ̀gbá, Ìjẹ̀ṣà, Oǹdó, Èkìtì, Ògùn, Ìgbómìnà. There are, so if you want to organize Western region now, my proposal, it should be based on those 26 nationalities. In fact, we are going to have a federation of 26 sub-ethnic nationalities. Jesha will stand on his own. Ife will stand on his own. Okeogun will stand on his own. They have territories. So let's clear our mind from the old Oyo, Ogundo things. They are all contraptions. If we can really form our own constitution in the Western region and now be counted on the basis of who we are, at least Ijesha are there from Ijebus. Ijebus differ from Egba, but we are not fighting. We are neighbors. And we can do our own small self-governance within these areas, and we'll still be all Yorubas in Western region. So what is the point I'm making now, which I'm trying to push from the last 2 days, is to identify bona fide representatives of the 26 sub-nationalities in Yoruba land. We are now going to have a proper democratic setup in Western region, where their worries will not be marginalized. They will have a voice. And in federation, we are going to have equal voices and equal governance. That is the next challenge. In fact, we've now been forced to organize our region and really bring equity and bring representation and make sure nobody is marginalized. Whether Tinubu goes ahead to implement what I've said to him, the greatest message will be internal reorganization of Yoruba land. It will send a message to the whole country that Yorubas have gone, they are going. We don't need to be a slogan, Yoruba nation. Let our actions speak for us. Let's have these 26 nationalities now to form a platform. That's the greatest push. Eventually, by the time we are acting, let Igbo be doing what they like. Let what they like. We won't mind them. We have everything. We have the port. We have banding with Benin Republic. Our business with Yorubas across West Africa. We will not be looking to the north. We will not be looking to the east. No reason to look there at all. Okay, we'll carry the same flag, Nigeria, no problem now. We carry the same currency, no problem now. That's the only thing. But over time, in fact, the whole world knows Yoruba when they see one. They know. They know. They know Igbos too. In our conduct, we already be nationalistic. We will be recognized worldwide when we start doing things as a Yoruba nation or even Yoruba region. Thank you very much. Let me not take your time.
Thank you very much. Ẹ ṣé gan. Torí àsìkò gẹ́gẹ́ bá a ṣe ń sọ, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ gbogbo ẹni tó bá ní ìbéèrè, ẹ ní opportunity láti béèrè ìbéèrè kan lọ́wọ́ àwọn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n. But tó bá jẹ́ pé bí méjì ni ẹ lè papọ̀ kẹsàrí fi ṣe ọ̀kan within 1 minute, 60 seconds. Àwọn yòókù ẹ lè tẹ̀ wọ́n sórí ìkànnì yìí, wọ́n attend sí. Ní àsìkò yìí, ká tó béèrè lọ́wọ́ àwọn tí wọ́n wà lórí ìjókòó, ẹ jẹ́ ká béèrè lọ́wọ́ àwọn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n ní kọ̀ọ̀kan. Ìyálóde, ṣé ẹ ní question kankan tẹ́ fẹ́ béèrè lọ́wọ́ Dr. Akin Fápòhùndà? Ẹyọkan bí méjì, nǹkan tó bá ṣọ̀kan yín kẹsàrí ṣe ká ṣe pápápá. Ìyálóde, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ tan speaker yín.
Also, question tell me fair béèrè ni pé about currency. Ṣé tí a bá ń lo the same currency, ṣé ó make a difference pé a ti kúrò lọ́dọ̀ wọn? Because tá a bá ṣì ní the same currency, that means pé we are still part of them. And ibẹ̀ yẹn náà ti máa manipulate wa.
Now, answer now. I'll take all the questions. Let me take several questions.
Oh, okay.
I've had you. I'll answer, but
okay, sir.
Okay. Amacheko, do you have any question for Dr. Downs? Sorry, Paponda.
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 Dr. Paponda.
Thank you.
All right. Màá kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ pé kí n kọ́kọ́ apologize fún delay láti ọ̀dọ̀ Global Directorate láti jẹ́ kí sọ̀rọ̀. Though mo wish pé bá handle it a little more discreetly rather than embarrass the whole system. Anyway, Western region, as I understand it, all include àwọn states tí mi ò fẹ́ pè ní sub-states, but all include àwọn bíi Chekiri. Now, ǹjẹ́ a ní any idea about any proposal to decide pé kí ni geographical boundaries ṣe máa jẹ́? Because as far as I know it, proposal tí mo gbọ́ last is we're going to have 9 regions. So kí ni idea yín lórí àwọn boundaries yẹn? Ìyẹn ni mi ò tí rí document yín, so mi ò tí ní opportunity láti yẹ̀wò. But is there any collaboration pẹ̀lú any well-estimated bodies tó ń support yín pẹ̀lú nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ̀ ń ṣe? Because ẹ bá notice láìpẹ́ ìrọ̀ tá ti ń sọ so far it's a matter of inclusion, consulting the people and all of that. A lot of things mo gbọ́ kind of saying, so a lot of it seems like on the right track. It's not really anything new. But at the end of the day, say about put good documentation together, then it gives us a bundle of what to deal with. But in important, are you collaborating with anybody? She recognize Nina or anybody to just only this majority consensus in such a way to just I'm understand direction time. I understand.
I understand. Can I take those 3 questions quickly then? Well, that's warming up. The first one, currency. In the draft document that I authored, currency is on concurrent list. It's not on the exclusive. The only thing exclusive is banking regulation. And I put it in that form advisedly because the Western region will thrive on inflow of foreign exchange from Yorubas who are overseas. The foreign exchange will not go into Central Bank of Nigeria. I believe with currency being in concurrent list, there will be a leeway. We cannot issue different currency. We cannot have our own cowrie or something. We are still part of Nigeria. So it will be, I leave able to control foreign exchange that is coming from foreigners. And we can open a bank in Benin Republic. I mean, there are many ways we have to creatively manage affairs. It's not all or nothing. It's not 2 + 2 = 4. We still have brain. We have to use brain. If you are waiting for everything to be cut and dry, we are not going to do anything. It's a clear inclusiveness. In the map I produced and the document there, we cannot say anybody is annexed. Only the Okuns of Kogi and Igbominas of Kwara have been definitive and have documents to the effect that they are willing to cross back to Western region. There's no doubt about that. So in the map I drew, I might circulate eventually on this platform, the land area occupied by Okun is equivalent to the land area of Ekiti State. So they will have a status of the same of the existing states. The same thing in Gomina. Ishekiri, we just said, subject to inclusion if they so decide in a plebiscite. It should not be that we are annexing them by fiat. There will be consultation and there will be the same. Southern Cameroon moved to Cameroon those days from Nigeria. They will have to decide whether they want to cross to the south, to the western region, or stay with their old Midwest. That's that. Then support. I can assure you, Afenifere supports what I'm doing, but I did not mention their name because there are two factions in Afenifere now. So I don't want to get into the minefield. Faction or the fashion, Adebanjo fashion. So I try to just, but most of the people I deal with, they support what I'm doing. There's Voice of Reason, with about 60 professionals who are roughly above 60, all Yorubas, Voice of Reason. They support what I'm doing too. Ninas will call me a buffoon. I have it on record. Ninas is just a loose cannon, Tony Naji. Okay, he has first major. And okay, let's see the first major now. If first major will retire Nigeria, I keep telling people on this house, one or two, not everybody. I have respect for everybody. If you deliver Yoruba Nation tomorrow morning, I'll be waiting for you in Ibadan to deliver it. I will be there. But if you are not doing it, let's go the way we are going. But the moment you give me signal that you are launching Yoruba Nation in Ibadan or wherever, I will be there. I want it, absolutely. So Ninas is just I won't call him the way he called me as a buffoon. I won't respond to him like that. But I'm appearing on same platform with him at 8 o'clock tonight. So I'm engaging. I'm involved in all these bodies. But it's my personal interest I'm pushing now. And the interest, people like it, that's good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Prince Kalejai and Dr. Fakwonka, what you send document you're saying, sir, let me call on our, sorry, feedback. I'm not checking police. You probably have a feedback to what he just said. Or Mitch Arain, I'm not checking.
Emma Binusa, Dr. Fakwonka, which goes along the lines of any expectation where diaspora may contribute or to sustain national affairs, Yoruba Nation. That sounds like a favor or like, I don't know, wishful thinking.
No. It's a bunch.
Kí ló dé tí ó jẹ́ pé a lè ní foresight láti wá bá ṣe máa prepare ara wa in such a way tó jẹ́ pé a máa ní national capacity rather than wípé a máa depend lórí bull and heart kind of ideology. That is still me trying to find out where I'm going right or not. But I mentioned wípé any expectation láti financial expectation láti diaspora, and that is quite worrying.
Sir, I'm talking about remittances. You send money to your dad or to your uncle or your brother to Nigeria, it go to CBN of Nigeria. When you send it from New York, it go to Chase Manhattan Bank, and that's the bank that CBN uses to bring money to Nigeria. What we are saying now is that Western region will nominate its own bank, that if you are a Yoruba person who wants to send money to your parents, currency is not spent in Nigeria. Naira is whatever currency is spent. But when you send in dollars or any currency, it comes through an exchange point. We want Yoruba to be able to control that. Let's not be Fulani selling the currency on the roadside the way it is now. So there'll be a vehicle, special post vehicle. If you are sending remittances to your parents, not that we are borrowing money, not that taking money donation. No. The second thing is that if you want to do a project, it's like you buy shares, MTN raises bond. So mostly Yoruba will subscribe. Anybody will subscribe that want to do a fast trade link between Ikare and Badagry. It will be costed, and whoever wants to invest in it can invest in foreign exchange to do that. So those are two channels. Not that we're asking for donation from individuals. No, not at all. I hope I made myself clear, sir.
Shut down question here. I'm a check.
Wọ́n dáhùn ẹ̀ ó kàn jẹ́ pé mo ṣì ní slight issue nítorí mo rò pé a wà sophisticated ju pé dependence on just one direction. Mo believe pé bóyá a ní mineral resources tó jẹ́ pé a lè target or any other thing tá a bá lè target tó máa tètè develop income fún wa. I mean, hit the ground running is the kind of ideology tí mi bá rò pé ó yẹ ká máa propose. I'm sure pé ó yẹ ká ní financial experts or people, economists or those kind of people tó jẹ́ pé focus wọn gangan yẹn. What can we do in a short term to actually be in a comfortable place? Ká ní financial integrity as soon as possible. This whole nǹkan tí mo ń gbọ́, it sounds kind of inadequate or even probably genuine at the moment. So mo dà pé our sophisticated nǹkan tí mo ń gbọ́ lọ báyìí. Maybe it's something we need to look into. Ẹ ṣeun.
I can give it to you privately later, not to waste time. I can take your number and call you. Maybe I explain. But what you are saying is brilliant. What I have in mind, totally. You say currency alone, currency tender, legal tender is a separate thing. Resources to run the Western region is a different thing now. Ordinary IT alone will make money from IT. Look, I have 2 people working for me in Abuja now. They are working for a company in the US, and they are being paid in dollars. In working with my company in Abuja. But dollar now, the dollar will come to CBN. It will not go to a channel to where you will benefit. That's separate entirely. Totally separate.
Emma Bruno, mo fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ kíní kan lọ Dr. Faponda. Ní meeting lẹ́ni pẹ̀lú Lenas.
No, àwọn kan ló fẹ́ ṣe meeting lọ́nà fún mo rí ní NAS àti speaker.
Forum yẹn for the benefit of gbogbo Yorùbá. Wọ́n ní ká wádìí ohun gbogbo dájúdájú, and we don't stop learning because life is a university with no graduation date on site. So we want to hear both your argument and probably people's response. So you'll be doing us a great favor by putting down on the platform the link.
I will do that. I'll do that immediately.
Thank you very much. I'm going to check over to you. Thanks.
Dr. Fakunja, indulge me lórí question mo fẹ́ béèrè lọ́wọ́ yìí.
Feel free, sir.
Yeah, okay. Now, it may sound a little bit personal, but ṣé ẹ believe pé ẹ máa ní problem pẹ̀lú kí ẹni tẹ́ feel pé ó lẹ́tà sí kó máa cross-examine lórí national issues? Because a ti sọ̀rọ̀ kọjá lẹ́ni about the whole idea of inclusion, giving the people the right to be part of the determinations machinery, so to speak. Ṣé feel pé personally ẹ máa ní problem pẹ̀lú kéèyàn interrogate me on national issues? Ẹ ṣeun.
Mi ò gbọ́ mọ́.
Ṣé fẹ́ kí n repeat it, sir?
Please, sir, you cut off.
Right. Basically, nǹkan tí mo ń béèrè lọ́wọ́ yín, a ti sọ̀rọ̀ kọjá about giving people the opportunity to be part of the decision-making mechanism, so to speak. Now, mo ń béèrè lọ́wọ́ yín personally wípé ṣé ẹ máa ní problem pẹ̀lú pé kí èèyàn tẹ believe pé ó less yín by virtue of financial or educational standing or from the point of elitism. Ṣé ẹ ní problem pẹ̀lú èèyàn tó bá wà less yín in your own consideration kó cross-examine yín on issues, national issues? Kí ni view yín lórí ẹ̀? Ẹ ṣeun.
But you be asking me question. I've answered on facts. I've answered on facts. Did I refuse to answer any question? You asked, I may follow up and answer you. No, this is not a personal project.
Oh.
Any question, anywhere, I belong to so many bodies, and what happened between me and Barrister Ogedengbe is just a long-standing. I mean, it doesn't have anything to do with all the team members of this panel. And I prepare myself to come and talk to you for even 1 hour. When you now caught me today, I wonder how many people prepared to give you detailed information about what is happening. Because I'm in Nigeria here, I'm based there. And I've lived in North in 1975. I served there.
Ẹ jẹ́ ká move forward from that incident, sir. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká tún bring it up. Bóyá ẹlòmíì ní question ọ̀fẹ́ mi ìgbà fẹ́ lè. Thank you, sir.
Shegon, thank you very much, both Amoteko and Dr. Faponda. Àwọn màmá wa tí mi ò tí bèrè question lọ́wọ́. Ẹ kí n bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti orí Mrs. Popoola Obi. Àwọn ìbéèrè tí ẹ bá ní fún Dr. Faponda. Thank you.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni barrister. Dr. Fagbunda, ẹ kú ọ̀lẹ́ sà. Ẹ ṣé gan tá pè yín tẹ́ jẹ́ wa, tẹ́ dẹ̀ wá. And our questions tí mo fẹ́ béèrè, they are meant to be constructive feedback rather than criticism, because nǹkan tó jẹ́ ti Yorùbá ti gbogbo wa ni. Tó bá dá fún Yorùbá ti gbogbo wa ni. Bó bá ṣe ẹ̀dá kejì ẹ̀ gbogbo wa ni. Ibi tá à ń lọ and gbogbo wa láti yànnàná ẹ̀ dáadáa ká mọ̀ pé ibẹ̀ là ń lọ. A dẹ̀ gbà, gbogbo wa gbà pé bẹ́ẹ̀ là ń lọ. So our questions mi nìyí sà. Ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan yẹn pé ẹ̀ ń wá àwọn èèyàn kan tó jẹ́ pé from each region. Maybe they will sit down at the round table and maybe have further discussions nípa kìíní. Mi mọ̀ bóyá ẹ ń rò nípa referendum to ask our people bóyá wọ́n sì fẹ́ dúró ní Nàìjíríà. It's a fundamental question. Fundamental question. Ṣé a sì fẹ́ dúró ní Nàìjíríà? Nítorí pé Nàìjíríà tá sọ pé a fẹ́ dúró yìí tí ò sun àwọn èèyàn wa, ṣé ibẹ̀ ni wọ́n sì fẹ́ dúró sí? Number one question. Number two question. Mo wo àwọn exclusive list yín. Mo dẹ̀ rí àwọn nǹkan kan níbẹ̀ tí ó fẹ́ concern mi gidi gan ni. Nítorí pé structure tí ẹ̀ ń suggest àwọn ó pẹ̀lú structure ta ní nísìn ní Nàìjíríà. The first one ni the defense, naval, army, air forces, exclusive list. Immigration, passports, visa, exclusive list. Aviation, including airports, safety aircraft, ancillary transport, all of that, exclusive list. Foreign borrowing, exclusive list. Currency, coinage, legal tender, exclusive list. Banking, regulations, exclusive list. Pensions, gratuities, exclusive list. Public debt, exclusive list. Public service of the Federation, exclusive list. Taxes, duties on revenue sources, exclusive list. 11 items. Nítorí mi ò mention external affairs. That tells me we're still in Nigeria. There is nothing sovereign with that exclusive list. Sovereignty, we have not got it if we have those exclusive lists, because our affairs will still be determined by whoever sits in that high seat in Nigeria. Western Union may operate regionally and all of that. But the ultimate decisions, the key decisions of every nation is still in Nigeria. Màá fún yín example ẹyọkan, and I'll take one example from there, which is immigration. That means pé any Nigerian can go anywhere. Ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́ǹkan pé àwọn ọmọ Igbo wọ́n tó bá fẹ́ gba C of O and wọ́n láti re-verify. That's just if they want to own a home, own a property. What if they just want to rent? Wọ́n dẹ̀ ń wá wọn lọ wọ́n bọ̀. Hausa ń wá wọn lọ wọ́n bọ̀. Fulani ń wá wọn lọ wọ́n bọ̀. Because immigration is exclusive list. And whoever is the president or whatever we call it has the right to say, open your borders. There is free movement of people and possibly even cows, for what we hear. So that's a major issue, Nibenye. When we talk about the money, we can't have cowries, so is Nigeria and the money and all of that. So the debt of federal government is the debt of all the regions.
Certainly.
Because it's on our behalf. If I don't continue, no, okay. Then answer of security. Hasn't security caused a problem for us in Nigeria? That we're now at the precipice of actually killing everybody off. With this insecurity, the height of insecurity that we have, there is nothing there in that constitution that I've seen and I've read that talks about sharing intelligence locally and nationally, so that these regions will also have the intelligence that the federal government has of people's movement, and we'll be able to follow through to make sure that our local security services are equipped, not with just equipment, but with the intelligence that they need to guard and guide us. For me, being on an exclusive list and not on the concurrent list worries me hugely. Then in the Constitution, there are issues around the boundaries. So the North, Central, Kogi, and Kwara were included. Within 12 months, they could agree whether they want to regroup themselves and form other groups and come into Nigeria, Western Union if they wish to, and all of that. Why 12 months? Why don't we do the cut now? If we do a referendum and the people of Kogi and Kwara agree that actually we're part of Western Union, we want to be part of Southwest, why wouldn't we give them the opportunity? And lastly, sir, what is the fixation about Nigeria that we must, because that's what is coming across to me. We must all embrace this new idea of Nigeria is where we live, Nigeria is where we're born, Nigeria is where we die, whether we like it or not. Shesa.
Thank you very much.
Let me answer the question because it's very extensive, very extensive. In the document I sent that you read, there are 11 items of exclusive list. Presently, there are 62 that we have now in the existing constitution. We must make up our mind whether we want to negotiate and try to use strategic sense to disengage ourselves. That's my own proposition. But if it prevails, I want to declare, and it has happened, Biafra declared. If you want to declare unilaterally that we don't want anything at all, well, it's an option. But if we want to negotiate, we have to sweeten it for them to say, look, from 62 to 11, even marriage in Nigeria now today is federal. You cannot marry unless you marry in Kogi registry. It's Federal Ministry of Internal Affairs. It's there. So if this 11, in fact, in my own mind, it will still be about 16 or 17 if you actually go to sit down in Nigeria to negotiate. But if we're able to get this 11 only as exclusive, And the other one that is all the one that is in concurrent in my own mind. Federal government off it totally. If they do anything, we'll break the law. They will sue us to Supreme Court if they want to. That's my own frame of mind. So we must decide whether we want to negotiate or we want to make unilateral action. On defense, we wrote there external defense. Internal defense is on concurrent lists.
Okay.
It's there. Concurrent internal security, police, and policing. And if you read section 311 of my documents, only 10% of the officer corps will comprise people from other regions. The all other office, all but down the line must all be Yorubas. And then 10% of Yorubas will also be in their other region. So it means the real security apparatus of the
ẹ má bínú mo fi pé network wọn ni o.
Put there in understanding. In Nigeria, we have visited now because unless you go Bangladesh way, they fight, they separate from India. Pakistan way, they fought, they separate from India. Sudan, after almost 20 years of fighting. So if you want to go that way, we can. But this one is already bending. We are not breaking the bond with Nigeria. But we want to just be allowed to just give a little gap to escape. Once we escape, many things here, we implement it in the breach. They'll be suing us to court. We'll be sending people counsel to Supreme Court to be taking adjournment. We'll be doing things we want to do. That's my own frame of mind that we can adopt. But again, if there's a way to do a clean court immediately, I'm in Abuja, I will pack my things and go to Elisha and stay. I have a house there. But in the meantime, we are negotiating. What I've written there now, Middle Belt, they are buying to it. The South, they are buying to it. In fact, the fact that we consider their crude oil to themselves, they are so happy. We don't need their crude oil. We can survive with IT, with brain. Bricklayers alone. If you are in the business of supplying bricklayers, you take over all construction in the north because they don't have bricklayers, they don't have carpenters, they don't have electricians. So we have so much strength to live on our own. But the flavor is that we cannot make a clean break. 11 out of 62 is a fair way to say, let us be neighbors. Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Barrister Ejomofe, come back on a couple of my questions that
Go ahead, ma.
Doctor has not answered. One of them is around the referendum. How do we
referendum? True,
how
referendum.
do we hear from our people? Not the people that have self-selected themselves as leaders, but actually the people that the people choose to be leaders. So we have to have a process by which leaders are identified and they do a contest of becoming a leader that we can say, so when do we get the referendum? Also, immigration is a real issue. Mexico at US, we all know what US is doing to Mexicans. And I can't speak too much of it because I'm not based in the US, but Dr. Yefule can say. Build a wall because they come in freely. So is that what we want? By going halfway, because it's easier to do it bite size. And this is what I was saying earlier on, Sami. Instead, surgery. Call the best surgeons in Southwest, pé ẹ jókòó, ẹ determine báwo la ṣe fẹ́ ṣe operation yìí once and for all. And also, mo mọ̀ pé there are opportunities for people within this to form a state. Self-determination is a right in the African Charter and also the UN. So surely it's something that we should be spending our effort and energy on, rather than halfway house, doing things in chunky way, that really we will be here in another 20, 30, 40 years, still begging to reduce that 11 or 16 further down to maybe 5 or 6. Why don't we just spend that energy now together, put our heads together, whether I fẹ́ regionalism, whether I fẹ́ self-determination or whatever, and have a united voice of Yoruba people, so that when we talk to each other, we find out from each other, what do we want? How many of you go let it regionalism? How many of you let it self-determination? And then the consensus will be formed. And we know that is where we are heading. Our leaders, please, ẹ̀yin bàbá wa, ẹ jọ̀ọ́, ẹ̀yin ìyá wa, ẹ bá wa sọ̀rọ̀. Call us to referendum and find out which way should we go, our Yoruba. Ẹ má jẹ́ káwọn unselected, unelected, unnominated people speak for us. Enough is enough. Àwa gan náà ti ń súnmọ́ ibi tọ́lọ́run máa pè wá. A kàn ń bẹ Ọlọ́run kó ṣáà fún wa ní more time, kó fún wa more time, because this is very important for us, for our generation unborn wa. So there are 2 questions, sir. Referendum. Immigration.
Thank you, my sister. I like your passion. I share the same sentiment. Referendum, in that document, there are 2 levels. There will be regional constitution, which has to be subject to referendum too, whether people agree. And the structure of governance in Western region will be determined by their own internal constitution too. So whether you want to move from one area, whether you want to come to join the Ekiti or you want to be separate, it will be part of that referendum that will be performed. Then the national constitution itself is also going to be subjected to referendum. It's stated there in the document. Maybe not, even the first part of my bill says the document will be subjected to referendum, the first part, the first page. So people will be asked, but let me tell you why I'm not being optimistic. Nigerians, I know you are living overseas. The poverty level in Nigeria, if you give 5,000 to everybody now, they will queue up. They won't know what they have been voting. They won't know what they're voting. Everybody can bring money out. We'll just determine the results. It's going to get worse in 2027 because, look, a bottle of Coke is 400 naira now in Nigeria. 400 naira. So if you give somebody now 10,000 to say, just queue here, vote for no referendum, people will vote. I'm not afraid of a referendum, to be honest. It looks okay in the Europe. I mean, they are voting in London now, in UK now, next month. But there is no voting in Nigeria. There will be a glitch on the computer. I'm telling you, there will be. It's good for all of us who can articulate and think like this to decide on people who don't know. You might say not democratic, I agree with you. But what we have are majories in Yoruba land too now. They have no thinking faculty anymore. Even graduates, young people, they are so hungry. I live here. So, but I see your finesse, what you desire, and I desire it. Immigration, we cannot achieve it overnight. Once you take a bus from Kano, you just land in Lagos, or you go Sabo Ibadan. We cannot stop it immediately. But if you have ID card for all Yorubas, anybody occupied to rent a place, you must report to a DPO. You cannot rent your house to somebody unless DPO already found something. That's how it is in Mexico now. So there are things we use with brain power It's a gradual thing. We cannot get it just clear cut like that. But I know you want this thing, but as I said, I'm open to a better method. I'm open to it. I'm not opposed to a better method, but just act it. Let me see it. I will support you if you can be better than I'm thinking. Don't just talk, sir and madam. Act it. Come to Abuja, come to Ibadan, come and lead us. I'll be your lieutenant. Is that not fair enough?
Sir, for the vote of confidence, but it prove nǹkan tí mò ń sọ sà. Pé àníṣe àmàdá dúró ni. And láti dá dúró. Pẹ̀lú àwọn èèyàn tó sọ pé wọn ò lè tó máa move láti Kano débì kan. Àwọn èèyàn ń wá, wọ́n ti ń gborí omi wá ń sìn. So, once and for all, ló yẹ ká ṣe kínní, once and for all. Wàhálà yìí a gbọ́dọ̀ fi sílẹ̀ fáwọn ọmọ wa. Ìyẹn gan lásán it should convince any Yorùbá tí wọ́n ń rí táwọn èèyàn wá di àmájìrì, tí wọ́n ò róúnjẹ jẹ, tí wọ́n ń kú lọ́spítù, aboyún ń kú bó bá fẹ́ bímọ, gbà mí wọn ò rí oògùn fún anybody. Wọ́n tún sọ̀rọ̀ kọ́lẹ́rà lẹ́ni ìsìn tó ti gba òde kan. So ẹ jẹ́ ká bá ara wa sọ̀rọ̀ láti inú ilé, ọmọ ìyá ni wá, ọmọ bàbá ni wá. Ẹ jẹ́ káyé pacify àwọn èèyàn yìí. Káyé gbà wọn láyè mọ́. Ó ti tó wọ́n ti fi ọwọ́ gún wa ní ojú. Enough is enough. Ìsínlẹ̀ ẹ̀ka wa gangan fúnra wa ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní sọ̀rọ̀ sókè. Kò ní easy. Mi sọ pé ó máa easy sà. Kò lè ever easy. À ń fi ọwọ́ whatever gbọ́ èkùrọ́. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi ẹ bá mi sọ ìyálóde ẹ ń wò mí ni.
A kì í fọ ojú bọ̀rọ̀ gbọmọ
lọ́wọ́ òkùrọ́. Ẹ ṣé gan ni ìyá mi. That is exactly what it is. And Yorùbá ò ń ṣe ojo. A kì í ṣe ojo. The fact that a kì í ṣe ojo yẹn, we can face them face to face and show them because there is a legal route. Kí ló ń dá wa dúró ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi? Kí ló ń dá wa dúró èèyàn mélòó ló máa kú? Àwọn ọmọ wa wo ni wọ́n máa mu drugs tí wọ́n ní mọ orí wọn, tí wọ́n mọ nǹkan tí wọ́n ń ṣe mọ́, tí wọ́n mọ̀ drug àwọn èèyàn wa. Ẹ jẹ́ ká jí. Ẹ jẹ́ ká bára wa sọ̀rọ̀, ká bára wa sọ òtítọ́. Tí bàbá Tinubu bá ń gbọ́, kó test ẹ̀ láàrin àwọn èèyàn. Kò ń ṣe ìgbà tá a máa ṣe gbé constitution the National Assembly la ṣe máa ṣe referendum. It's too late. The horse is already bolted. We need to do it before. Ọ̀nà méjì rèé o, ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi. Which way should we go? That's how to do it. Because the referendum, the constitution itself is one route. Àṣẹwà fẹ́ bí wọ́n gbà yẹn. It's too late. I think we should rethink this, sir. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ mo bẹ̀ yín torí Ọlọ́run, ẹ bá àwọn àgbààgbà wa sọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ̀yin lẹ wà ń bẹ̀ o, ẹ̀yin lẹ mọ̀ wọ́n dáadáa. Pé ká wá ṣe kíni? Is the question I ask people when they say that. Wálé láti wá ṣe kíni? You know, because wọ́n máa sọ pé tí wọ́n bá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní wọ inú ara wọn bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn, you don't see things objectively anymore because you're in it. You're afraid for your life. You don't see things. So we're standing and watching. And Badeshenri is like a runaway train. Tí ò sí driver, tí ò sí brakes. Ọlọ́run nìkan la bẹ̀. Tó máa dá sọ̀rọ̀ wa.
And my sister, I was in Abuja. Let's go and meet Tinubu. I will book appointments, a delegation to come and deliver this because you have to see him now. He's not hearing. No, we're just talking to ourselves here now. We have to take it to his doorstep to say this is what we want, not in public light, but we have to write a letter and make a demand. This body make a demand. I'll be part of the group if you desire. I want it.
Thank you, sir.
But talking alone will not do it. We have to have.
I agree with you, and I believe majority of members of the Yoruba Nation Global Directory won't agree with pé kì í ṣe public nǹkan láti máa ṣe. But tó ṣe bí èwo sẹ́yìn àgbàlagbà, wọ́n ní etí baba nílé etí baba lóko, èèyàn ló ń jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. I will be deceiving ourselves to say that the presidency is not aware of what we are doing. And not only did we congratulate the president when he came to power, we have since sent documents to the parliamentarians, the legislators, as we know them in Nigeria, And even right now, we're thinking of even sending another document to the presidency. And that's why I think you may come in. Because at the end of the day, majority opinion Loma reigns supreme. Perhaps if you can, with our ministry, if you can help for us to deliver a document to the president, we would like that. It's a dissenting opinion, and it's for the general good of all. We are more glad.
I will deliver it.
I will deliver it. I will deliver it. Like she saw out our Jamako deliver it. Thank you very much. And Emma Bino Guguyan, we Lenny, Kosi, Tabafе Fund Body Laye, Kosibi Ash, in Lobby of Mosheju, Koja time war, Tori Kalimu Lesser so, Yellow Ship Pataki. We don't often have days like this, so let's make the best of it. Sister Yemisi and Prince Tunji Adieko and Amotekun Ejema Bino, Ejeka Paris segment, Mofeki Dr. Oyefule. Key and one no sorrow. Tobati sorrow job. Then we'll open it up for our Toba first sorrow by Ejo and Nawasuki Alima Dil Badoniko. Dr. Yufule, over to you.
Thank you, Barrister.
Thank you, sir.
Let me thank Dr. Fakunda for coming to share with us this very important document. And let me also thank him, making it very clear. This is not the end document, but this is a dynamic entity on law. It's not static. Nation building is not a one-day event. And this may be even the initial stage of our nation building that he anticipates for the past 5 to 10 years. With that understanding, I appreciate, because I think the doctor mentioned that it is not the end. This is just, I wouldn't call it, it's a maneuver. So, understanding that this dynamic, this is probably one of the initial phases, and the phase continues until we get our Yoruba autonomy back. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Any response, sir? Dr. Pabo?
No, I appreciate him back. I appreciate him back for understanding my point of view. We just want to confer your poro lọ́wọ́ wọn ni tábà ti yọ poro báyìí tá máa dé wọn tẹ̀ ní mọ̀ wọn ní mọ̀ wọn tá bá sọ fún wọn up front pé oh I want everything wọn á ní ká lọ jábí ti àwọn Biafra ni pé ó yá go to war and we cannot fight but tá bá ti lè gba region and condition ti wá hey I tell you in a few times you won't believe what Yoruba will do. Go to court if you don't like what you are doing. Go to Supreme Court. We have to not first send to stay there now. We can arrange 50 lawyers to be in Abuja to be arguing the point of law. We are doing what we are doing in our own way. That's the method I think. But if you can do quick court, it's okay too. But support this one. If you can support it, it will catch a organize that and say who is the leadership of Yoruba now? Where is the leadership on ground? Not I know you are overseas. Who are the one we call now? These are the Yoruba leadership, leaders of thought, like 1967. Do we have it now? We need to have it. We need to have it. To be accepted by people, we need to have it.
I agree with you, sir. Cherry question, Terry. It's a very salient question, and I think you're in a very good position to have posed that question, having been a member of Afet Ferry. Leadership in but as it is, churching question, who can confirm our not all along Yoruba leader. Thank you.
You're born a leader because all of our voluntary. I want to leader and say I want to in politics. We are trying to organize a meeting now. Let me tell you, all former speakers who are Yoruba, all former governors who are Yoruba, all former also rep members forever. We are trying to activate them now into a platform to even have a meeting. To the Iboni Yoruba, what do we want? But you'll be surprised, many of them depend on government here now to live. They have contracts. They are expecting money from they are expecting appointments. So that's just the truth of the matter.
Yeah, more agree.
I'm not working for government on my own. That's why I'm free now. I'm not taking contract from government for 10 years. No, 10 years, I'm not taking contract from government. So I'm totally free. But others are not as free now. You'll be surprised. From envelope from government, top people, they have no means of survival. I'm telling you.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, àwọn tá a mọ̀ nìyẹn, àwọn kan náà wà tá a mọ̀ tán dẹ̀ ṣe náà. Because often ṣaago máa ń búgò, a rí gbogbo wọn ti fẹ́ pé ọ̀tọ̀ ni nǹkan tí we call them coconut here. Ọ̀tọ̀ ni nǹkan tó wà nínú, ọ̀tọ̀ ni nǹkan tó wà níta. Ẹnu tó dẹ̀ jẹ́ dodo kò lè jẹ́ òdodo. Wọ́n ti fi torí ẹdẹ, wọ́n ti bẹ̀ ẹ̀dẹ̀ jẹ́. So thank you, sir. And ẹ jẹ́ kí n sáré gba Ìyálóde láàyè. Ìyálóde ṣókí ká lè lọ sórí àwọn ìyàwó. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ àwọn tó bá fẹ́ ní ìbéèrè, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ nawọ́ sókè. Àròjọ Mùsùlùmí. Ìyálóde.
Daddy, mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín because àwọn Yorùbá bọ̀ pé ká dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ẹni tó rí ni tó mọ́jú, èèyàn kan ni ò tiẹ̀ mọ ibi téèyàn wà tí ò ríyàn dáadáa. Now, proposal bills tí tẹ́ ṣe sà, I really thank you because at least because ní orí ìkànnì yìí mo máa ń sọ all the time pé àwọn àgbà wa dà ṣáà sì ní àgbà nǹkan. Now you prove me wrong now pé torí mi believe pé àní àgbà mọ́. What bẹ̀tẹ̀ àwọn kọ́kọ́ wà nínú bills tí tẹ̀mí ò mọ̀. Mo fẹ́ question kan mo fẹ́ béèrè pé will you say your bill represents the will of Nigeria? Because tó yẹ pé will of Nigeria ni èmi ò ní buy into it because I want the will of Yoruba. Bí ẹ ṣe ní ẹ fẹ́ ṣe tó bá jẹ́ tí Ọlọ́run bá wà lẹ́yìn wa, we will be maybe 50% okay. Because àwọn tí à ń dárúkọ yìí, ẹ mọ̀ pé wọn ò ní ọgbọ́n orí tó wa, but wọ́n ní àwọn tó ń back wọn. Tó máa tún sọ pé ẹ ṣe báyìí, ẹ ṣe báyìí, ẹ ṣe báyìí. As much as everybody wá ń para pé we want our state, we want our state. Ọgbọ́n ni àgbàlagbà fi máa ń sá fún màálù. Òun ló dà pé ẹ̀ ń try láti ṣe ń sìn, if I'm right. But most of the thing in the bills, ó ń dà pé you are bidding Nigerian, you're representing Nigeria. As our father, we want you, all our fathers, to represent Yoruba. Mọ́mì wa Pópóọlá wọ́n sọ nǹkan kan yìí pé àwọn àgbà wa, ẹ̀yin àgbà wa, ó yẹ kí ẹ̀yin bàbá wa àti ẹ̀yin ìyá wa, ó yẹ kẹ́ ẹ parapọ̀, kẹ́ ẹ jọ máa sọ̀rọ̀ kan náà. Ó máa difficult díẹ̀, but tí mo fi pé ó ṣeé ṣe. Wọ́n sì máa rírú àwọn àgbà bíi titi yín tó ń think straight, tí ò ń ṣe àwọn àgbà envelope. Nǹkan kan wà very important tí mo pick nínú ọ̀rọ̀ wọn. Wọ́n sọ pé we need to choose our leaders. Kò ń ṣe àwọn leader tó kàn máa gbéra wọn síta pé àwọn ni leader, àbí àwọn blogger máa yàn wọ́n. Ẹ̀yin bàbá wa ní láti sit down and talk and represent us as a Yoruba. Ẹ ṣé sir.
Thank you.
Can I respond, sir?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, sir.
okay, you know, interest Yoruba, interest Nigeria. For now, we have to have a coalition that will give us the leeway to be able to escape. For example, because at a meeting of Southern Middle Belt Leadership Forum, we Yorubas considered that we don't want the crude oil of Niger Delta. It's then that they lowered their guard, they surrendered. We are very pony. We'll be able to, but we know that most of the people working in the oil sector are Yoruba. People who are working in Eket, who are working in Akebom, they are Yoruba. Okay, but lower temperature gone. So we have to see their interests, our interests, can't escape. Just escape, Lama so kilo kini Yoruba fẹ́ ṣe o, damn consequences when we are free eventually. We put certain clauses in our own Western Regional Constitution that they approve. So nobody can challenge, nobody can vary it. Who is an indigene? Who can reside in Yoruba land? We will decide that in our constitution now. And nobody can vary it. So it's still ahead. We cannot put all the hand out now. If you put all hand out, totally. So we are leading them, but once they approve for us to have regional constitution, regional anthem, regional every identity, then no going back. The dam has cracked. It will break down to the bottom. Water will escape. But let the dam crack first. Let it crack first. Let them not talk about it. Look, let me, my friend say, you are going to do this. We are going to blockade. We won't send tomato to Yoruba land again. Your tomato will rot in Jeba. We don't even farm in Yoruba land again. We don't farm. We talk about cow, up to now, and we like to eat meat. We're not. What comes to do ranching? Our law was doing ranching, Fashola in all over Western region before. But we just talk. We don't do anything. So we need to talk, my brothers and sisters. We need to do real action. In fact, we will do it. They won't know. They know we have gone. We don't need to talk. They know we have gone. I appreciate all of you. I'm for you 100%. I'm for you. I'm here in Abuja. I see what they do to Yorubas now. I know. But Obasanjo, we have no land in Abuja. So Obasanjo, he made sure that owner occupier is the only time Yorubas have houses in Abuja. That's why Igbos, all the hotels are 95% are Igbo control. They put drug money. They buy hotel. All the cars, Igbos are selling it. In Abuja, all building material, all electronics is 99% Igbo. So we have big fights, but we cannot do it by saying, oh, let us just declare like that. In 5 years, we'll separate, we'll differentiate totally. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate you.
And ẹ jẹ́ kí a lọ sórí ìkànnì nísìnyí. Prince, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ má bínú, ẹ jẹ́ ká ọ̀nà àwọn àlejò wa, màá pè yín next. Ó dà kí màmá wa kan wà níbi tó ń jẹ́, mi ò mọ̀ mo ṣe lè pronounce orúkọ ẹ̀, Paget
lórúkọ mi.
Ẹ ṣé gan ma, thank you ma.
Ẹ kú pàdé.
Ẹ kú sùúrù ma, thank you.
Mo dẹ̀ kí àwọn bàbá wa Dr. Akin Papòmùdà, ẹ kú iṣẹ́, Olúwa fún yín ṣe, gbogbo bá ṣe ń fẹ́ Olúwa ṣe fún wa.
Thank you. Thank you.
When we talk of this regional thing, ṣé kìí ṣe àwọn politician yẹn náà ló máa tún máa wá ṣe kínní, because if they can carry on like that, there will be no difference because of corruption. Yeah, number one, like Sanwo-Olu teaming up with another government for farming. Instead of them to create job here, they're creating job on the north. And this question of regional with the immigration, I think we should be able to control those who are coming to Yoruba because of killing. Torí tí immigration yẹn ò bá sí ńbẹ̀, and that's one of the reasons why we want to leave, because of this killing. Àwọn èèyàn wa ò lè lọ sóko, wọn ò lè lọ sódò, wọn ò lè ṣe farming. We shouldn't rely on the northerners for what to eat. So, and this thing, we just have to get it done. Ọlọ́run á dẹ̀ fún wa ṣe, because we shouldn't leave this for generation coming behind. And this question of ṣé tá bá gba regional yẹn, irú military, ṣé a máa lè ṣe fún ara wa? Because you find out that everything now is more in the north. The Navy, all those forces, they are in the north. And when they are in the north, you find that most northerners are in need. Àwọn náà wà ńbẹ̀. Ìwọ̀nba southerners tó bá wà ńbẹ̀, wọ́n máa pa, bọ́n ṣe pa tí Tolú lọ pa àbí kí lorúkọ ẹ̀ yẹn. And them lots, wọ́n máa pa wọ́n ni. So are we going to, when we have this regional we are talking about, are we going to have our own? Yeah, because like you said, it's a step towards getting out that but it's a way we shall see it, because at least we'll be able to build our own security, then control this immigration. We should be able to control those who are coming in and those who are going out.
Thank you, my sister.
And again, gbogbo ìgbà tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ àwọn àgbààgbà mi ò gbọ́ àwọn ọmọdé, torí àwọn àgbààgbà have already spent their own years. Over time, most of them then low. I think most of the youth should be involved in this movement, because we are fighting for them, and we shouldn't lead this fight for them to do. Torí pé àmọ́ nǹkan tó lè ṣẹlẹ̀ lọ́la tí ológun bá tún gbàjọba, àwọn náà pọ̀ jù ní ológun. Like before, kó tó di pé Tinubu débẹ̀, ṣé àwọn kan fẹ́ gba gbogbo odò ni, odò rivers náà fẹ́ gbà. Now they said they found now they said they found gold in Zamfara. They said northern gold belongs to the north, but the oil in the east belongs to the northerners as well. Wọ́n lè máa fọ́ lọ́la fún wa, torí nígbà táwa ń dàgbà, ẹ jẹ́ kí n ṣí ojú mi. Nígbà táwa ń dàgbà, Wazobia la gbọ́. Àmọ́ bí tí Fúlàní ti wá tó dẹ̀ à ń fọwọ́ lálẹ̀ fún wa, which shouldn't be. Àbí ẹni kí ni mo sọ? Wazobia. Wazobia.
Madam.
Thank you very much, ma.
I appreciate you. Sherry, ma. In the 70s, when I was in university, there's national union of Nigerian students. Who cover Nigeria change by even other material. But the students have been compromised, the youths are compromised. Now, so Simon, to see youth at all, to see everybody is hungry. No joy until 10 years to graduate. They want to be FPA, SA to end of the corporation and make money. That's number one. Our non-need dependence of income. To minister to your need. You can't minister to the need of society now. Because I have income, that's why I'm putting time on it. If I have to look for, if I'm still on my pension now, 80,000 per annum, will I have time to do what I'm doing now? Because my pension is 80,000, and I retired as level 7 officer in the year 2000. So the Emily separation in my document, we said all officers will be in their region of origin.
Okay.
Once it's approved, only 10% will be foreign. That is, the total Igbo, Fulani, whatever, that will be in Western region will be 10% of the officers' corps, not even the other ranks. So it's already in place.
And that's one of the reasons why they say, even said they don't want even state of origin. Don't
worry, these are all small noises, my sister. Okay. These are all small noises. Okay. If you use noise, name of the document want to approve it. Once we implement it now, say go to court, the meeting has been approved. You know, military president is already regional commands now. No area can add more than one of regional commands. So, officer corps, third marine corps, second region, all northern and no in the paper I put there now. Okay. If there are 5 elements in the military, it will be occupied by everybody. In the meantime, then farmers stealing, Do you know up till now, my sister, that Lagos State hasn't got Amotekun up till now? Tinubu did not allow it. He didn't allow it. They don't have
ṣe mọ̀ pé
Amotekun up till now.
ó fẹ́ yọ Èkó kúrò lára Yorùbá gan pàápàá tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀.
So we have internal issues, but
ẹ̀tọ́ lè kọ́ táwọn máa jẹ nìyẹn.
those are micro things, but we have to look at larger issues. It's just for us who are placed by God to have a bigger sense of value. And then even if you do referendum now, Scotland, they've not come out of United Kingdom now. If you vote now, some people say they want to stay in Nigeria, even if you vote. I know that for sure. But let's just see, with this kind of body now, if our court is enlightened, we the enlightened have to lead the illiterates. That's just the bottom line. Politicians and corruption. Every governor in Yoruba land now, they have no moral right to be a governor.
Okay.
Thank you. So
what you are trying to do is to find a new, all of you now, with respect, if you belong to any of the 26 nationalities now, organize to see whether you can form this independent body of professionals representing Ijebu, Yewa. That body will displace all the who are eating on politics, who have nothing else to do. That's the intent. I hope we succeed.
Thank you, sir. Mofe Songokoti Baba mentioned briefly here that we, the enlightened will lead those who are not enlightened. I believe my own vision of a sovereign Yoruba nation will be a nation where we can make the unconscious conscious, unconscious conscious. My mother was an illiterate. Yoruba would say that Ninu Kokodudu, but one thing is she had a word disposition of an English professor, because she often will say that know me. So the word enlightenment can be very subjective, and the Nigerian experience hasn't proven the fact that those who are enlightened have the heart to do well for the people. So I just want to put this out there so that at least when we are choosing people for any positions, it will be people who understand altruism, and they understand that without the people, they are perished. We don't want to lead them, but we want to work with them. That's just what I'd like to put up. Then, Mrs. Popola be any question. Prince, mi bagwe Emma Bino, Emma ni platform saying. And no, what's okay? Miss Popola. How are you? Okay, I was muted, man.
Sorry, my mouse decided not to play
Okay.
ball. Sorry, sir, Prince Tunji, for taking your spot. I'm really sorry.
No problem, man.
Dr. Fakunda, sir. So I would take that your bill is a private members bill, what we call private members bill. So you would need a sponsor in the National Assembly to see this bill debated and all of that. National Assembly was and it's a rhetorical question, it's not to be answered because we all know it's obvious. Àwọn tí wọ́n sọ fún wa pé constitution wa pé àníṣe màálù citizen ni wọ́n. Ṣé àwọn yẹn ni sà lè fẹ́ kí wọ́n debate bíìlì yìí fún wa? Kò yé mi o, kò tí ì yé mi, because I'm sitting and I'm really trying to analyze everything from my experience of parliament, albeit the UK. The National Assembly, because President Tinubu could unilaterally turn bill you into an act. It has to go through the process. And for that reason, okay, let's assume the first reading, which is just basically reading the title, blah, blah. Tinubu ti ẹgbà lóòótọ́, okay, ẹgbẹ́ lọ sí National Assembly, kó lọ debate. ó lè go through first reading, wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ nípa title, second reading, wọ́n debate a little bit. Who do we have in the National Assembly that will champion this for Yoruba people? That has enough clout in the National Assembly tí àwọn èèyàn máa gbọ́ sí lẹ́nu, so that when the clauses and the amendments are being brought from different parts of Nigeria, that champion, that person tó máa gbé lọ, tó máa champion ẹ̀ ń bẹ̀, will have enough support to see it to the end, where Tinubu now stamps it. Obviously, they would have refined it because there will be lots of amendments along the way. Stamp it and become an act. And how long do we think this bill is going to run through Parliament or National Assembly? Sorry, National Assembly. Because we have 3 years left in his first tenure. Do we think, because all of this, we should put it into consideration and Kyle Beresinini plan around it, you know, so that we can get the outcome that we're looking for. So who amongst them, the National Assembly, sir, is the one that is going to champion this? Because Tinubu cannot, I mean, he's the president, fine. He's not on the exclusive list. He still has to go through the system. It was just one of the questions that came to mind as we were talking about this. And
My answer
answer,
I know all that you are saying. It's not a private member's bill because no private member's bill has ever passed National Assembly. The only bill that can pass is executive bill. My proposition is for President to authorize Attorney General to say it's from me, President Tinubu. I just gave him raw material to draft bill. It's not the bill itself. It's raw materials, which if he adopts it, in Nigeria we operate Baba Sokwe. If he calls any president and say, look, I want this thing done. He called the speaker, I want this thing done. It will be done. It will be done. Debate, I don't debate. No debate. I say he doesn't want it to. Nobody can bring it up. They will send the FCC after the person. All of them have criminal cases that they can bring up if president doesn't want something. So that's why it's a raw material for what might be possible that Tinubu can support. And then if he adopts it and he ever forwards it, I can be sure 70% of the chance he will succeed. Because he will have called, if you notice now, Senator Akpabio is always wearing Yoruba cap now. He wears only Ashoke all the time. So it's what, and he has at least 8 EFCC cases on his neck in NDDC and in Akwa Ibom. So if the only capital that Tinubu will use to say, I want this thing done, I want it done, I don't care how you get it done. They will meet at night, they will do whatever. And then they will remove some of these laws that you say you don't like, they will have to, they will do whatever. And it will be approved. But let's just get the region out. Tinubu must buy into it 100%, otherwise the zero is zero. And why I wrote it now, that if you don't do it, by this time next year, they're already selling forms for 2027. They will not here go come again. So politics will just kill everything. It means we are now back to 2027, where you need 100 million to buy form, 50 million to buy form. Then all that we are talking here, politicians have a different mind of their own. So I just prayed that as I delivered a letter to Tinubu one-to-one 2 days ago, it's a little secret, but somebody is planning to take me to him in the next 1 week. I don't know if he will deliver. But if I see him one-to-one, what does it even matter anyway? But there are many consultations going on that I'm reaching out. So you can say what he can support, what he cannot support. As I said, if he can support those regional constitution, to me, that's progress. Go and form your own identity. Go and work out how you want to run your own sphere in your own area. We'll now make sure we put all clauses there, that when people see, they know that we are thinking out of Nigeria. That's my own take. It's Tinubu's bill, not my bill at all. It can't be my bill. Okay. My bill has no chance to pass. No senator. Even my senator, I said to him, he didn't even reply me up to now. My House of Rep member, he gave me appointment 3 times last week. He's not available. Because they all have contract, they all have a hand in the way things are. In fairness to them, they all came to Abuja broke. They spent money for election. They want to recoup the money they have spent last year. Those buses, those SUV that they bought, they didn't buy, but they gave them, bring your own contractor. They pay you the money. Many of them didn't buy the cars. It's to collect 160 million to recoup what they have spent on the election last time. That's it. Very few actually bought the cars. But they are broke, they are insolvent. The election system is crazy. Crazy, I'm telling you. Things are difficult in Nigeria, I'm telling you. Things are difficult. But let's just pray that a good fortune will just get something that we can do. We can't get everything neat, dry, and clear, as we are all saying. It's work in progress, as Dr. Yefule said. It's work in progress. If we can get regional constitution out of this year now, then I will say we have moved progress a little bit. Thank you.
Thank you. Prince, ẹ má bínú ọpọ́n ṣùkàn yìí. Ẹ lè tan kámẹ́rà yẹn. Prince Adéẹ̀kọ́. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, anybody tó bá ní question, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ nawọ́ sókè náà. Tẹ́ ẹ bá lè mọ bẹ́ ṣe máa nawọ́, ẹ lè type sínú chat room. Màá pè é. Prince, over to you.
Yeah, ẹ kọ́lẹ̀ gbogbo lé. And mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn àlejò wa lénìí. Dr. Fapohunda, ẹ ṣé gidi gan ni. From all our discussion, I think what I can take out of this is that on one hand, our prayer and agitation is for a suffering Yoruba nation. No doubt about that. Everybody wants that. Ṣùgbọ́n àwọn dájú wa náà is not totally ignorant of that fact that yes, on one hand, that is our agitation, and that is what many people want. But we're looking at realistically, how do we move from where we are to at least something close to what can give us what we want eventually? First sort of you because I'm going to actually say a lot of things which I totally agree with. My own concern, again, which you should just also address now, is the fact that document answer is a proposal which we agreed that from Kota and Daddy was so he intends to send it to the president, who will now send it as as his own document to the Senate and House of Assembly. Now, we must be mindful of one thing. Politics is a very crazy game. Most of recent money, I sort of pay president approved 90 billion, BBR 140, 120 billion for one Hajj. Money, all the Muslim tickets, Baba Ibad Debitowa. And he wants to appear to appreciate those who put him in power, because everyone thought Muslims would never fly. So it was a political decision. This thing would not improve Nigerian economy. He's very much aware of that. But what we cannot take away from the president is that when it comes to politics, he knows how to play this politics inside out. And the document
despite the fact that it's still far-reaching from what we want, that is an independent Yoruba nation, I still see it. I still see there's an obstacle before it, in the sense that if this document is going to impede Tinubu's second-term interest, I won't be surprised if I delay it to the second time or whatever it is, because primarily survivor, political survivor, just like we are not admit standard or not admit, we go 150 million, 1,000 jeep, kò ń ṣe gbogbo náà ra owó náà ra mọ́tò yẹn, wọ́n ya gbó sápò ni, kàn fi recoup owó tọ́nà lórí ìgbésẹ̀ political journey, political expenses, so that's what we did. So everybody just want to at least get some money and then be solvent a bit. So the truth of the matter is that as good as this document is, and maybe a little bit taking us closer to what we desire, that is not our destination. The truth still remains that it will take a lot of political will from the presidency to sponsor this bill, because he's going to look at his own interest against 2027. After 2027, okay, yes, so first time, second time, okay. In the light of this document, make pronouncement, push it. But the first thing means that because I want to be a question which I don't down okay, so I'm first send the president. But it's still we mustn't fight ourselves over what is not a reality yet. It is to be a good reality, really, to be a step closer to what we want. But for now, we wish ourselves the best and wish our daddy the best, and also see whatever we can do, to at least get a step closer to what we want. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Prince. Dr. Fakonda, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ má gbàgbé níbi tí ẹ̀yin pẹ̀lú Tonina ti fẹ́ meet lẹ́nu.
Send this platform, say hello, Dr. Dumosi.
You can send it to either of us. We just want to
send this to Dumosi already.
Okay. Barrister, can you please put this on the chat room for the benefit of our people? Please. Barrister, are you in the house? Barrister Dumoso.
I'll send it to you. Let me send to you.
Yeah, please send it to me, sir. Thank you. Yeah, that be too possible to configure platform. Prince.
You same platform me, expel me.
Could possible, sir. we don't do that. Only chat everybody will access it.
It's a long document. I will just post to you, then you post it.
Oh no, I have the document. What you share
I made the link to the program at 8 in the
morning. Okay. Please, sir.
I'll send it to you now.
You, sir. Yes, sir. And Prince Kalejaye, Ejo, Eba Adasio.
Bóyá nítorí pé àìsí ìpìlẹ̀ àwọn ọ̀dọ́.
Ẹ̀tọ́ rójú yín ojúlọ̀rọ̀ wà ọ̀dá níbẹ̀ yẹn àgbàlagbà ṣe sọ. Rójú yín.
Internet Nigeria was strong. That's a great video and I'm a shake ni. If I look at internet in London, America.
Go ahead, sir, Prince.
Okay, money. Mo rí bóyá nítorí pé àìsí níbẹ̀ ni àbá wọn dá sí. Ọ̀rọ̀ tí mo gbọ́ lónìí lẹ́nu Dr. Akin Fakonda, ó dùn mọ́ mi nínú fún àwọn initiative wọn. Can I ask, because sometimes we say in law, delay defeats equity. Tí a bá ní bàbá wa, I use that word bàbá in quote, the president, ó máa lọ ọdún mẹ́rin, àbí kí ọṣẹ ẹ̀ máa padà lọ ọdún mẹ́jọ. Tí ó bá difficult fún láti ṣe ọdún mẹ́rin yẹn, why is there any possibility ká exert pressure lórí ẹ̀ ó ṣe iṣẹ́ yìí fún wa ní this first 4 years because nobody knows what tomorrow will. Mo fi àsìkò yìí dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ẹni tí ẹ gbé wá fún wa kó bá wa sọ̀rọ̀. Mo dẹ̀ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Madam Pópóọlá fún àwọn ìṣírí àti connection tí wọ́n ní pẹ̀lú experience náà. Ẹ ṣé.
Thank you very much, sir. Ẹ ṣé gan. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, ṣé ẹnikẹ́ni ṣì kù tán fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ ká tó fi àdàgbà rọ̀? Barrister Dumosu, where are you? Please, we need to post this link. Barrister, where are you? Mr. Kolade, where's your brother?
I should be asking you that, not me. You work together with him, so.
Yeah, well, me or
Well, I'm trying to call him now. His line is engaged. He's probably on the phone.
It's probably on the phone, yes.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Bó ṣe wà lórí phone yẹn, nípa orí ìkànnì yìí, even tá a bá ṣe play music yẹn. So àwọn èèyàn máa ní opportunity láti lè gbọ́ nǹkan tí Tony sọ. Because tá a bá ti gbọ́ side kan, ká tún gbọ́ kejì. Then Baba ti promise pé document afẹ́ fún president, we will get him involved in that. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n wò tí ò bá sí ẹnikẹ́ni tó ní ìbéèrè fún Dr. Fakunda. Ṣé ká release wọn kí wọ́n máa lọ?
He's back. He's back.
He's back. Okay, Barrister.
Yeah.
Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, Dr. Fakunda làwọn send the link ibi tí wọ́n ti máa bá Tomani engagement pẹ̀lú Tony Nadi. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ bá fi sórí platform yìí.
Okay.
Tẹ́bá lè bá fi sínsìn just for the benefit of everybody. Ẹ ṣé gan.
Okay.
Dr. Yufule, your parting shot, sir.
Yes, ẹ ṣé gan. Thank you very much for inviting Dr. Fakunda ká lè gbọ́ lẹ́nu wọn nípa nǹkan tó sọ. And what he has said is worth thinking about. We Yoruba were a strategic people. A dẹ̀ máa ń ní ọgbọ́n tó pọ̀. Irú àwọn ọgbọ́n yẹn, we need to put them in place right now. You know, me ìfẹ́ wà like a mercenary, kí ni pé all means are justified. You know, me ìfẹ́ sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n all above board means are justified in us getting our autonomic Yoruba entity. The Yoruba any autonomy, whichever way we need to, as long as we don't do anything illegal, and as long as we don't become rowdy fighters, we could fight. Like Barrister Ogedengbe put on the platform. We can strategize ourselves and get what we want. And again, this may be one of the first steps. Not the only step, but one of the first steps towards getting what we want. Thank you. Barrister.
Yeah, ẹ ṣé gan, sir.
I'm done.
Ẹ ṣé, thank you very much. Ẹ ṣé gan. Kí n tó pe àwọn màmá wa, mo fẹ́ sọ nǹkan kan tí èmi pẹ̀lú bàbá wa tán sọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ni wọ́n, bàbá mi náà ni wọ́n. Because one thing we share in common is Ìjẹ̀ṣà ni wọ́n, Ìjẹ̀ṣà lèmi náà. And he's a man of great conviction, so am I. So clash yẹn, mo fẹ́ kí bàbá mọ̀ pé, and mo apologize to everybody for what happened. It's completely out of character. I don't have any personal grudge against him, but obviously, èmi pẹ̀lú bàbá, on ideology we differ. And ìyẹn mi pé tí wọ́n bá sọ̀rọ̀, mo ṣì máa gbọ́ nǹkan tó ń sọ. So I want him to know that me on anything against him. wọ́n ní èèyàn jù ẹ lọ olọ́jọ́ kan sí olọ́jọ́ kan ni mi ò lè fi kún but gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹ̀yin bàbá wa mo fi tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ ṣe pé the school of thought mi ní pé màmá mi even though illiterate náà ni ẹ jẹ́ kọ́mọ mi sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ má pa ọmọ lẹ́nu that's all I wanted to do pé gẹ́gẹ́ bọ́ọ̀lù àṣìṣọ and Yorùbá ní ọmọdé gbọ́n àgbà gbọ́n èmi ò gbọ́n tán but mo mọ̀ pé there are things that she lè kọ́ mi wọ́n dẹ̀ ní ìgbà míì wà náà tó yẹ pé
We are
ọmọdé náà
brothers.
ó
We
lè
are
kọ́
brothers and we are brothers
so
and
ẹ má bínú kẹ má rò pé
brothers and
bóyá ó wà
partners.
passionate.
No, no, no.
We appreciate
I know
you.
where you stand. I know where you
We
stand. I want to bring, you must come to my side, though. You must come to my side.
What's the problem?
I know where you stand, but you must come to
We
my
will
side.
stand for the
This
Yoruba
forum.
people.
We'll get to your side
Majority
later.
of our people, sir. Majority of our people will carry the vote. Alẹ́ àdẹ̀sán gbogbo. Àwọn ọmọ tó ń bọ̀ lẹ́yìn. Àwa tá a jẹ́ àwọn àbúrò yẹn, àwọn náà ti ní grandchildren. Abẹ́rẹ́ báyìí sá. So àwọn ọ̀dẹ̀ là ń ṣe fún. Because ọmọ tó bá mo ti ibi tó bá ti ń pè ká máa wọ àwọn ọmọ grandchildren àwọn ọmọ wa. Ẹ mọ̀ pé àgbà tí ń kọ àwa náà ni. Okay, ọlọ́wà bá wa ṣe. Thank you. Mama wa Ìyálóde, your parting word, please. Your parting shot.
First of all, mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ dádì wa pé wọ́n ṣe fún nǹkan tí wọ́n wá ṣe pẹ̀lú wa. And I pray that Ọlọ́run máa gbà fún yín. Nǹkan tí mo kàn máa sọ náà ni pé we need more people like him tó máa bring opinions tiwọn tó máa favour wa tó máa favour Yorùbá. At the end of the day, tí ó bá ń jáde díẹ̀díẹ̀ bẹ́yẹn, we will know we're going somewhere. Like you rightfully said pé a lè jà torí àwọn ni wọ́n kún army náà kún air force nǹkan kan bẹ́yẹn. Not like pé tíjà náà bá dé àbá káwọ́ gbénú o. We still gonna do our best. Tó bá kọ̀ọ̀sẹ̀ tó yẹ pé àwọn náà kọ̀ọ̀sẹ̀. But Yorùbá knows a mọ̀ pé a kì í ṣèyàn tó máa ń ṣe jàgídíjàgan. Yàtọ̀ sí àwọn tó ti yí lórí tó ti mu ṣé kùlọ́ọ̀sì náà ń pè àbí nǹkan tó ń gba orí wọn mọ́lẹ̀ kiri. But average Yorùbá Colorado wọ́n máa wà all right. Averagely, Yoruba people are known to be peaceful people, ọmọlúàbí way of life, and enjoyment galore. So combining those three together is difficult for us to pay a fair lomaja. But Toba bring it on, we will face them. So mo pray pé a máa tún rí àwọn àgbà kan tó tún máa dìde pé they want to do good. Pé wọ́n máa fẹ́ ìlọsíwájú Yorùbá náà Nigeria. Because we are no more in Nigeria. So mo ní ẹ ṣé o gbogbo àwọn tó dẹ̀ ti sọ̀rọ̀ náà ẹ ṣeun lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ mo dẹ̀ believe pé things is getting better and it will continue to get better until when God say now, children, I've heard you. Go ahead. Thank you.
Barrister, ṣé Mrs. Popola dúkùn?
Thank you. Mr. Popola Baba Fadagbaro, wọ́n lè the parting shot, please. Thank you.
Parting shot oríṣiríṣi àti sọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ ti kúnlẹ̀ lónìí. Mo dẹ̀ dúpẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ Dr. Fagbohunṣà fún ìṣítí ọ̀rọ̀ tá a gbọ́ lónìí. Elédùmarè á túbọ̀ máa fún gbogbo wa ṣe. Elédùmarè á bá yín lọ sí ìkọ̀kọ̀ inú áfíì rẹ̀ tẹ̀ ń lọ. Kí Tinubu kó lè tẹ́tí gbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́ ẹ fẹ́ sọ fún. Mo dẹ̀ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n béèrè ìbéèrè lóríṣiríṣi lónìí náà pàápàá jùlọ àwọn màmá wa target ẹ ṣé gan ni. Nǹkan tí èmi fẹ́ mọ́ wa létí ká tó lọ ni pé ó dàbí àwa Yorùbá tá a dúró sójú. We're moving forward. We're moving forward in our debates. We're moving forward in our actions. But ẹ má jẹ́ ká dá move forward. Ẹ jẹ́ ká kó gbogbo àwọn Yorùbá pọ̀. Lọ́mọdé ni lágbà ni, lọ́kùnrin ni lóbìnrin, níjòyè ni ní ọba ni. Kí a lè pawọ́pọ̀ láti rí ẹ̀yìn àwọn tí wọ́n fẹ́ wa fẹ́ rí. So ẹ jẹ́ ká move forward. Elédùmarè ó fún wa ní ọpọlọ gidi gan nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ọpọlọ yẹn ẹ jẹ́ ká lò pọ̀. Ẹ má jẹ́ kí a ṣe tèmi nìkan, tara mi. Bóyá a jẹ́ political strategist ni o, bóyá a jẹ́ non-political strategist ni o, kọ̀ọ̀kan ló yẹ kó jẹ wá lógún. Nínú gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ tá a bá ń sọ, òun ni ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá. Ìlọsíwájú àwọn ọmọ wa lẹ́yìn ọ̀la, nǹkan tá a fẹ́ fi sílẹ̀ fún wọn. So that nígbà tá a bá wà ní sàárè wa, ìbànújẹ́ ò ní bá wa níbẹ̀. Nígbà tá a bẹ̀rẹ̀ ètò yìí, barrister ẹ bèrè question kan pé ká explain kí ni I understand by regionalism.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni wa.
Pé kí la understand by self-determination, and that is managing our resources, understanding the differences in our needs, bringing government close to the people, devolution of power, improving social capital, enhancing our cohesion and inclusion. Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn lẹ́ǹkan yẹn. And everybody being valued and respected as a Yoruba person. Kò ṣe pé àwọn èèyàn kan fi ọlá wọn fi ń tẹ̀ wá mọ́lẹ̀ nítorí pé wọ́n wà nídìí owó tó jẹ́ gbogbo owó wa, wọ́n dẹ̀ ń lò fún ara wọn àtẹ̀bí wọn. Mantra wa ló yẹ kó jẹ́ going forward. Nǹkan tá a fẹ́ fún orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá nìyẹn. Ṣùgbọ́n tá a bá rò pé àwọn ìtókù wọ́n fẹ́ wa bẹ́ẹ̀, à ń láti bára wa sọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ ṣé gan ni.
Ẹ ṣé gan ma. Thank you very much. Brother Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn, over to you.
Ẹ ṣeun, a kú ìjókòó, a lè kú ètò àti meeting. Oríṣiríṣi láti gbọ́ lénìí. Nǹkan tá a ti gbọ́, a lot of it ó wà mind-boggling bákan. Ṣùgbọ́n a máa continue láti máa endure àti máa bára wa sọ̀rọ̀ so that everybody understand at different levels. Now, bàbá wa Dr. Akin Fakunda, mo really appreciate me, and tẹ́ bá ti fún wa ní opportunity báyìí láti dá sí ọ̀rọ̀, tẹ́ dẹ̀ ní tolerance láti listen sí wa, it is a step in the right direction. So from that point of view, a máa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín. Ẹni gbòdo ó gba máa èèyàn ni ò ṣe rárá. Èyí tẹ́yìn ṣe yìí, it's way above gbòdo, and it's great. Now, àwọn nǹkan kan wà tó jẹ́ pé à ń sọ tó bọ́dà èmi. For instance, nísìnyí à ń sọ pé a lè ní clean break. Whether a lè ní clean break àbá lè ní clean break ìkọ́ni pọ̀. Kí ni nǹkan tó fà á láti wá sọ pé a lè ní clean break? Ṣé àwa intelligent tó ní? Àbí I feel wípé it's always a case bí téèyàn bá jẹ́ militant nìkan lèèyàn lè succeed àti nǹkan láti ṣe nǹkan. So pàtì ẹ̀ ó bọ́dà mi. Then go on láti máa sọ pé I need láti máa sweeten wọn. All of that is kind of bothering pé a fẹ́ máa ní subjective negotiation pé dára wa lójú a fẹ́ máa lo ọgbọ́n àrékérekè. Ọgbọ́n àrékérekè yàtọ̀ sí kéèyàn smart nídìí kan kéèyàn ṣe, kéèyàn ní political intelligence, kéèyàn mọ béèyàn ṣe máa negotiate, kéèyàn ṣe máa maneuver situation. But ká máa lo trickery yẹn ó dàbẹ̀ yín pé àìtí really kóra wa jọ in such a way tó jẹ́ pé a wà formidable in terms of bá ṣe máa approach situation. Yẹ́nà sì ni wípé a máa tún máa ń gbàgbé pé Tinubu lè jẹ́ president but he's very very limited. Madam Popola sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn lẹ́ẹ̀kan and ó wà very important wípé ká understand it. Executive bill or no executive bill, at the end of the day, majority wins. Kò sí nǹkan tá a lè ṣe sí yẹn. So unless we are prepared for alternative measures láti achieve nǹkan tá a fẹ́ achieve. It's unfortunate pé àwa ń sọ̀rọ̀ wípé ẹnìkan ní criminal case àbí kò ní criminal case, a máa fi yẹn leverage political interest wa. Àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ báyìí ó dà yẹn pé these are things that we've done in the past. Trying to achieve some sort of autonomy fún Yorùbá ó dà yẹn pé a ní láti ṣí new league. Káwá wà a little more decisive. Káwá steadfast pẹ̀lú nǹkan tá a bá ń try láti ṣe wípé ká máa lo trickery àti gbogbo yẹn lọ. As it turns out, I find out wípé àwọn tá à ń bá deal, they are not as stupid as we thought they are. In fact, there are some quarters who believe pé wọ́n gbọ́n jù wá lọ. So nísìnyí, the only reason tó fi jẹ́ pé tó fi dàbẹ́ ní pé àgbọ̀n tó wọn ni pé a ti ń consult ara wa. When we sit down and we start talking, we I need láti kó professionals jọ. Professional lè jẹ́ professional kó má ní social intelligence, kó má ní community intelligence. So I need that wà kí á fún bẹ́ẹ̀, I need láti di àtúbí born again ní ways that man approach situation. Ibi tí professional ti wà needed ni pé tẹ́ bá fẹ́ ṣe department tó bá fẹ́ ṣe DG àbí tó bá fẹ́ run a particular kind of a project or that kind of thing. But I can assure you that there are ordinary people out there who lè ṣe a lot better than we can classify ara wa, we can put our PG who we any professional, any she professional. So I like to be aware of that. The other thing is we answer nípa pé bóyá Yorùbá has leaders or not. Question yẹn kò le tó yẹn. We have leaders. Nǹkan tá a ní, I understand mechanism kan pè ní accountability. Tí àgbàlagbà bá handle situation fún wa, tó bá dàbẹ́ ní kí wọ́n fẹ́ gbé kọ́gi, it's a matter of calling that àgbàlagbà. Kò sí bá ṣe fẹ́ ṣe nínú àwọn òwe wa, wọ́n ní nǹkan tí ọmọdé tó gun àkàbà lọ wò orí ìjókòó ní àgbàlagbà tẹ́rí. That is good. But still, it's not a case of pé a ní àgbà. Accountability là ní. So when we put people in the forefront, we come and deal with the situations where ó yẹ kán lókun dì. And I say that with all due respect. Because at the end of the day, gbogbo àgbààgbà tá à ń sọ yìí, when they go away, ìwọ̀nba ilé tán bá ṣe sílẹ̀, àwọn tó máa tẹ̀lé ló máa forí fa. Mi ń ṣe in this sitting, mi kì í ṣe àgbàlagbà rárá. But at the beginning of the Yoruba nation struggle, I had a lady abuse me. Pé ẹ̀yin àgbàlagbà tẹ́ bá gbogbo ẹ̀jẹ̀ náà lélẹ́yìí. That is very reflective. So ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe nǹkan in such a way tó jẹ́ pé our kind of a little more attractive. Ká máa apply ọmọlúwàbí. And then, àwọn kankan wà tó jẹ́ pé we can achieve together. But pé ká máa section ara wa yẹn, it's a bit of a problem. Anyway, parting shot nìyẹn, ẹ ṣé gan.
Ẹ ṣé gan, thank you very much. Ẹ ṣé. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n pe Barrister Dumosu kan wá fún wa ní vote of thanks. Barrister, where are you? Barrister Dumosu.
Yes, so.
Oh yeah, she vote of thanks, please.
Okay. Inú mi dùn láti dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo wa o. ẹ ṣé gan adúpẹ́ o pàápàá jùlọ Dr. Fápòǹkà tí wọ́n bá wa jíròrò lénìí àti àwọn panelists wa mo dẹ̀ rí àwọn new faces kan náà Sister Ifanike welcome, thank you so much. Sister Folúkẹ́mi ẹ ṣé gan adúpẹ́ wa àti màmá wa project tí wọ́n bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ náà, thank you so much. Lágbára Ọlọ́run ọ̀sẹ̀ tó ń bọ̀ a máa tún ṣe another program ẹ jẹ́ ká pàdé ra wa, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Now it's our national item.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of the newly formed Ududuwa Nation.
Ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ gbogbo adúláwọ̀. A kú pàdé o.